Broadcasting from the Main Street Media television studios in Nashville, Tennessee, it's time for Friday Night Live, the best high school football coverage in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Zach Womble, and Billy Derrick, and also reporters from Main Street Media. Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk.
Good evening again, everybody, and welcome in to Friday Night Live. 4 hours of great high school football coverage that nobody can rival. That's the reason we are Friday Night Live. He is Zach Womble. He's rooting for Tennessee tomorrow against Alabama.
Really?
He over there is Billy Derrick, and I'm not certain he really cares who wins.
I don't care. I want to see a great game. I want to see I want to see a great atmosphere though too. I mean, I think it's going to be absolutely electric tomorrow in Knoxville. And we haven't seen an anticipation of a Tennessee-Alabama game the way we do right now in Knoxville. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, Zach, let's get your War and Peace on this game.
You know, it's funny because of social media. Nothing before 2010 exists. It's like it's a fugazi. It's
a what?
It's a fugazi. It doesn't exist. It's not there.
Did you know what that was, Billy?
I've heard it before. I don't know what it means, though.
Yeah. Well, you never seen Wolf of Wall Street? First off, that's like probably the best.
I've seen that.
The best reference of it. But no, people pretend like, Alabama's just, it's always been their series, and they have been pre-Nick, but before Nick Saban got there, this was a pretty even series. This feels like the first time since 2007, Nick Saban's first year, that Tennessee's really had a chance. I've always stated that it felt fake under Butch Jones. I never thought they had a chance in 2016 in that top 10 matchup.
And they were number 9 in the country.
Yeah, I never thought it was real under him. You knew that in 2015 when the way he lost to Oklahoma, the writing was kind of on the wall there. But I digress. This is the first time since the Philip Fulmer era where there's a level of confidence going into the game. Now, can they win? It's going to be a tall task. I mean, they are still Alabama, right? They are still the measuring stick for all of college football programs. But I'm of the belief that I think this game will save the rivalry. With Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC in the future, conference realignment, for sure going to take place. How many of those natural rivalries are going to stay in place? How many of those every year games can you keep, in different conferences or different parts of the conference? So, Tennessee needs to have a good showing tomorrow to save this rivalry, because for the last 15 years, Nick Saban has completely dominated it. And I'm just excited to have the buzz back and, excited to see how it plays out.
Really, the closest that Tennessee has come in the Nick Saban era, ironically, was Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
When they lost 12-10 in Tuscaloosa, when Alabama had to block a field goal at the buzzer.
And I still say, after all these years, that Terrence Cody should have gotten flagged on that play for taking his helmet on for unnecessary celebration. You can take your helmet off if it's like knocked loose and like you have to readjust it, but you can't take it off as a look at me moment. And that's exactly what that was. But because it's in Alabama, because they're in Greg Sankey's back pocket, they're not getting that call.
I saw a great clip of Jeremy Pruitt in an interview this week, and he was talking about the referees' impact tomorrow.
They will have an impact.
I think it's a hell of a point by Jeremy Pruitt, who has coached at both schools. So watch out for the Zebras tomorrow. They could have an impact.
Oh, they'll definitely have an impact.
He had no problem when it benefited him.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely have an impact in this football game, and it's going to be interesting. Can Tennessee stretch the field? Are they going to allow them to hand fight? Offensive and defensively down the field. Will those be incompletes? Will those be flags? Like he said, I saw that clip too. He made great point.
I think if you're Tennessee, take as many deep shots as you can.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you've
think-
got the guys to do it. And Nick Saban talked about it a few weeks ago heading into the Vandy game. He said 50-50 chance you get a pass interference call.
Yeah,
most of the
absolutely.
time. So-
And listen, Hendon Hooker is one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the country. You like your weapons on the outside. You like your offensive scheme. I long said Jalen Hyatt, number 11 for Tennessee, was the second best number 2 wide receiver in the SEC before Cedric Tillman got hurt. Now I don't know that Cedric Tillman isn't the best wide receiver in the conference. I mean, the way he stepped up with Cedric Tillman out, Ramel Keaton, obviously, Brew McCoy, all Tennessee wide receivers and players that wear number 15 end up doing great things. See Jim Bob Cooter, see Kelly Washington, see several players. And so look for him to make plays. So excited just to see how it plays out.
Our first Jim Bob Cooter reference of
I had
the,
to get that in there. I had to get that in there.
2022 season. So let me give people a little bit of an update of some things that have gone on earlier today in baseball, and then we'll get knee deep into what's going on the high school football front. Cleveland, even their series with the Yankees at a game apiece, they won in Yankee Stadium earlier today in extra innings, 4-2. They've tied the series at 1 game apiece. Yankees had a 2-0 lead early and gagged it. Bullpen sprung a leak in the 10th inning, and so now they go back to Cleveland tomorrow night for game 3 in that best of 5. As for my Braves, they are being pounded in Philly to the tune of 6-1. Aaron Nola, who is really good, went 5+ strong innings for the Phillies. Spencer Strider got the start for Atlanta. First 2 innings, he was lights out, appeared to completely lose it in the third from a velocity standpoint. Reese Hoskins, a 3-run homer for the Phillies. Game 4 tomorrow will be at noon Nashville time, and that may be important for some of us who want to see the Tennessee-Alabama game. Get the Braves game at noon, Tennessee-Bama at 2:30, and then maybe a little Florida State-Clemson around 6:30. Not a bad football weekend, huh?
Penn State, Michigan at 11 a.m. as well. So
it's called a 2-TV Saturday.
You might need more than 2.
Yeah, I think break out the laptop, the iPad, whatever you got. I mean, you throw it on. It's gonna be a great opportunity or a great reason not to leave the house. Like my wife is taking my daughter on a baby shower at 1. I mean, so perfect opportunity for me to do absolutely nothing but watch college football.
Did you see the prices that we put up earlier
For the
StubHub?
Oh yeah,
Tennessee-Alabama game?
Well, I checked on it 3 or 4 days ago because I had the wild hair. They're like, okay, maybe I could drive up.
Sure.
About $500 just to get into the door. I did because I just wanted to torture myself.
At this point, it's probably like a $200 entrance to the city of Knoxville.
Yeah, probably.
Do we actually have the video? Is there a way to show that?
What video?
Well, the graphic of StubHub.
No, I can't.
Can't do it?
No.
Wow.
No.
I bet if somebody asked nicely.
No. If StubHub is listening or watching, if you're willing to, put your name on our show, we'd be happy to show your website.
This is John StubHub. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So, but no, I wanted to torture myself and just see what the most expensive ticket was. Best ticket, 50-yard line, 17 rows up after taxes and fees, $2,800.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll take out a second mortgage and we'll cheer on the Vols.
And no longer have your house.
Exactly.
That's why they got CBS.
Yeah.
Channel 5, by the way, tomorrow will have a monster.
Oh, that's going to be the biggest number in years.
I would think that it will rival Titan Pro Football numbers.
Hell, I think it's going to rival the Alabama LSU night game from a couple years ago when Joe Burrow was there. I really do. I mean, this rivalry, let's face it, it hasn't been a rivalry. I mean, Tennessee hasn't won in 15 years. And so, we saw that LSU Alabama game. That was what, 2, maybe 3 years ago with Joe Burrow there at Tiger Stadium. So you just haven't seen it like this. And so there's just so many people other than just Tennessee Alabama fans.
Yes.
You're going to have LSU fans who they're not happy with their team. They're going to go,
they want to watch good football.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like that just they can't wait to watch it. So,
well, let's do this. We'll go to our first break. And then when we come back, we'll get into what week is this?
Week 9.
Week 9. Is that not hard to believe?
2 weeks after that tonight.
Week number 9 of the high school football season. We'll talk about it when we come back. This is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good drive. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now?
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome back in. This is Friday Night Live. George Plaster, Zach Womble with you. Billy Derrick will rejoin us in just a few moments. Earlier today on my show, Zach, you really put the good word out on FRA.
Yes.
Talk to me about where they are right now.
You know, they, like I said on your show, which, you know, if you missed the George Plaster show every day,
you missed a lot.
Every day from 4 to 6 right here on Main Street Media TV. But like George said, missed a great show from today. And I'm not even talking about my segment. I'm talking about Ben McKee, Pennington's picks. I mean, you name it. Coach Stockstill, great interview. So
there's nothing we didn't have.
Right. Exactly. But as far as FRA is concerned, you know, I made the statement that they really made it a point that football was going to be taken seriously moving forward. They brought in Justin Geisinger, who had essentially turned Pope Prep into a D2 3A contender year in and year out if we're you know, chopping it up. But he decides to leave there, go to FRA, and he has established that same winning culture, that same winning mentality very quickly in Franklin. And so they're 7-1 right now. They're not in the lead in their Division II AA. They lost to Lipscomb Academy, much like everyone has in Tennessee that they play. But they're in second place. They got a big win over CPA, which keeps them in second. CPA went to beat Oakland. So, wow, how great does that win look now? Ty Clark over 700 yards rushing, 10 total touchdowns. Joe Crocker on the offensive line. SEC headed to Mississippi State. Logan Kennard, their quarterback, has close to 400 yards passing. So just a lot of really great things. They host BGA tonight. I don't think it's going to be a close one, George. I'm sorry.
I'm over it.
But FRA, man, they really, I think they've kind of taken everybody by surprise just with how quickly they've turned things around. And Coach Geisinger was actually able to catch up with Russell Venozzi, Tyler Palmatier, earlier this week on Main Street Preps This Week. We have that interview. We're going to play it for you now. So let's hear what Coach Geis has to say just about the upstart FRA team and, you know, the season that they're having so far.
Preps This Week. I'm Russell Venozzi here with Tyler Palmatier, and we are excited to talk about high school football once again as the season rolls right along here, heading into week 9. We are going to recap the week that was last week. We're going to look ahead to this Friday and what's on tap there, even though it's a pretty light slate with a lot of schools on fall break. And, of course, the highlight of the show is always our guest, and it's going to be Franklin Road Academy coach Justin Geisinger. His team is off to a fantastic start in his first year as the head coach. We're going to catch up with him and talk to him about that. But first, I want to remind everybody that this podcast is sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Tyler, are you ready to do this?
I am. I feel so official with my headset with the mouthpiece. I know we've had to switch up our equipment today, but I kind of like it. I feel like Keith Jackson, which to our young listeners out there is kind of a staple from the past in the broadcast booth.
Oh, Nelly.
Just Google it. Just Google it. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I need to Google it because I was not around for the Keith Jackson era.
Oh, yeah. Just Google Keith Jackson USC or something. You'll enjoy it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and welcome in FRA coach Justin Geisinger, who, like I said, is 7-1 through 8 weeks. Justin, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And, Justin, with this being your first year, I know FRA had fallen in some hard times the last few seasons. Did you guys think that a turnaround would happen this quickly in year one?
I don't know. I don't think, as far as what our mission and our process from our program, we, obviously we want to win. We're competitive. We're going to strive to win every game, but wins and losses aren't our focus. I think our focus was really on building a culture around FRA football that we felt like something that we could sustain, something that we want to build for long term. And I guess the short answer to this question is probably no, that we expect 7-1 at this point. Probably not, but at the same time, we're just working, day in and day out to be the best version of this team we could possibly be. And, some of the things that we've asked, these kids to do in our first year within this program has been a big cultural change for them. And they've responded really well, especially our senior class. Our senior class, we're asked them to kind of buy in for one season left as far as physically being part of this football team. And that's a big change for not knowing what the results are going to be. So when we ask them to kind of be vulnerable for that, put themselves out there, not knowing what the results are going to be, that was a big ask for them. They really responded well, and fortunately for us, the results have been there too. So yeah, it's been positive for sure.
Hey, Justin, this is Tyler. I want to kind of piggyback off that a little bit. You certainly made a good point that the seniors and other players you ask to buy in really are vital when a coaching staff takes over, and those you have to really depend on, especially seniors, to do that, to quote unquote buy in. But I'm curious, when you took the program over, was it a situation where you said initially, we have a lot of work to do here, or did you kind of look at it and say, we've got some good pieces?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, I think clearly from the standpoint of how we wanted our kids to respond as far as everything that they're doing, so our mission is to live and compete like Christ. And that's just not on the practice field on Friday nights. That's within the course of an entire game week, Monday through Thursday through practice. That's, on the weekends with their relationships with their peers and their families. That's in the classroom. Obviously at a high academic school like we are, they're fortunate and blessed to be in the position they are there. So it's really a total buy-in, because we don't feel like they're going to be the best football players they can be if they're not the best young men they can be. And ultimately, that's our vision. We want to be quality Christian young men first and quality football players second. And I don't think those things are separate. I think they go hand in hand. So really, just continuing to build them to be the best Christian men they can be. And then, all the other pieces, the schemes, the X's and O's, what we're asking them to do on the field as far as what we've done since spring through the summer. Obviously there's been an element of change there as well. But ultimately falls back to that mission that we live by. And it's a hard ask, because it's hard to be on. It's hard to be on point all the time. These are teenage boys. They're going to make mistakes, but asking them to hold each other accountable, not just have the coaches be the ones holding them accountable, and really, uphold our mission to the highest standard. And, why we're still a work in progress. Yes, we're 7-1. We have a long way to go, I can assure you. It's always good when results validate what you're doing a little bit. And that certainly has been the case thus far. So that's good.
Yeah, on that note, Justin, as we all know, high school football can be pretty crazy at times, but a week after you guys get that win over CPA goes and just shellacks Oakland. There's nothing fluky about that win, and it almost shows you that, hey, you guys didn't just catch CPA on a down year or anything like that. What do you think that win against CPA did 2 weeks ago for your team's confidence, knowing that you guys have beaten a really good team?
Sure. I not to downplay that win at all. It was certainly a big, big win for this program, for the school, for the entire community. I think that really signified everything that these guys have been pouring in and working towards. There was multiple times throughout that ball game where they had a chance to kind of fold the tents. We're down 13-0 right out of the gates. Had trouble moving the ball early. Kind of got into our own offensively, and we'll really, really probably played our best offensive ball game of the season. And then, defensively there at the end of the game to come away with a huge turnover to seal the victory. It was a total team win. So it was really, really exciting to see the resolve of our kids as they really battled through a lot of adversity in that game. And that's really what it comes down to. Football parallels life in a lot of ways, just like a lot of sports do. I'm biased. I think football is probably the ultimate team sport as far as dealing with adversity. And really, that's what we're looking for. We want our kids to be able to attack adversity. We want our kids to be able to understand that that's part of life as well, and it's how they're going to respond to those situations. And there was multiple times throughout that football game where we were stuck with our back against the wall, and they didn't fold one time. And it was really fun to see a group of guys against obviously a team like CPA. Total, complete respect for Engelmart and what he's done over there. And to have our kids be able to come on top of that game was definitely a signature win for us. And but for us and our mission, it's just another game too. So we're looking to treat every week the same, and that's hard to do when you play teams like CPA, and then you go out of region and play other teams, and you're back in region week after week. But that's really what we're trying to do, is try to be the best version of FRA every week.
Those comeback wins, I think, really do speak to culture a little bit, because it's so hard to sometimes keep everybody on the same page in those instances. But Justin, is there any backstory or maybe a good story about the trick play you ran at the end with or near the end with Bobby Council? I'm reading about it. It's certainly an interesting little play.
Yeah. No backstory. Our offensive staff is always looking for little things and wrinkles to add in there, not only to keep it light, keep it fun for the kids, but obviously those things are tough to prepare for as a defense. So when it comes to gadgets and little things like that. So it was a fun way to get, obviously Bobby Council's a pretty good guy to have the ball in his hands. It was just kind of a sneak opportunity to try to get him the ball in his hands quickly and make a play. And that's really all it was. But for that one. But we're kind of known for that and trying to find little wrinkles and little ways and little gizmos, I guess you could say, that makes it impossible for defense to prepare for. But fortunately, our guys have been able to execute those things well and have fun with them at the same time. So it's always good.
Now, how about junior running back Ty Clark III? He's been awesome all season, already over 1,000 yards. What's been the key to his breakout year this season?
Clearly, I mean, you see the film, you see him on the field, you see his stat line. So he's clearly a special player. But whenever people ask me about Ty Clark, I like to speak about him as a young man first, because he's truly special. I mean, junior team captain for us. You see him in the hallways. He has complete respect from all the way from administration to his teachers, to the faculty and staff, to his peers. Just the way he carries himself. He's a true leader by example. Excellent student in the classroom. You see how he prepares himself not only for football, but prepares himself for school and the school day, and how he carries himself in the hallways and how he treats his adults all the way to his peers. I mean, he's a pretty special young man, and he's definitely a kid we want a lot of our players to emulate. I think there's a big reason on why he has as much success on the field. Obviously, he has some God-given ability. That's true, but I don't think he maximizes it to the point he has if he doesn't have those other things going for him as well. And that's some example we talk to our kids all the time, and that's why we truly believe in the way we build a culture within our program. And it starts with building a young man as a Christian young man first, because everything else kind of falls in line behind that. There's a lot of kids out there, I feel that and a lot of players all the way up to the professional levels that have a lot of ability, but they sometimes fall short, don't maximize that because of some of those other things. So, we spend as much time off the field with our small group discussion and our cultural lessons as we do within our scheme and our X's and O's, because we feel it is that important, and we feel that gives us a little bit of an edge maybe over some other programs that don't prioritize that as much. So, but in a nutshell, yeah, I mean, Ty Clark's, he's a special player, but and even special, more special kid, and he's got a bright future for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to Ty Clark earlier this year when watched him against Davidson Academy. You guys seem, Justin, at least from the what I've seen from you guys, that you're blessed to have some good players up front. You talk about Joe Crocker, but Luke Masterson, also big guy and to have on the edge. But how have you enjoyed the process of coaching those linemen and specifically Joe Crocker during his senior season, before he heads off to Mississippi State? Obviously, he's kind of the guy that fits the elite mold, but how's it been coaching him and also just coaching up these other guys for the first time?
Yeah, it's been great. We're not super deep up there up front. Obviously, Joe, being a senior leader of that group and a big SEC commit. But even him as a high level lineman, I've seen grow so much since the spring, and he's really playing his best football right now. And we knew just based on his length, his size, his athletic ability, that he had the ability to be a special lineman. But we knew there was just watching tape on him from last year and seeing him in the weight room this spring, we knew there was so much more upside and so much more for him to give, and he knew that. And he wanted that for himself, and he wanted to be that type of leader. And he's another team captain for us. And so he's really emerged there, and I still think he's still peaking. And I still think he has his best football still ahead of him, which is even more exciting. And then you mentioned Luke Masterson, who's a young really a young football player, has not been playing football all that long. He's a basketball player that, really converted to find football as a love for him as well. And, he's a special player out there as he continues to grow and mature. And our interior line as well. We're not the biggest, strongest group probably in our region in there, but they're playing inspired football. They're playing at a high level right now. They're playing within our mission and our culture. And, you need that group up front to be those guys that are kind of your engine, as any coach will tell you. And, our team's kind of leaning on those guys right now. So, that's exciting to see. Obviously, as an offensive line guy myself, that's exciting to see for our offensive line coach, Coach Hansen. He's fired up about him as well. So, it's all is well there. We just going to continue to stay healthy and keep pushing forward. And, our goal is to be at our highest level come November. So that's what we're working towards.
So no game for FRA this week, but then they close it out with BGA and Good Pasture. So there's certainly a path for your team to get that number 2 seed in the Division II AA Middle Region, which would mean a home playoff game. How important is it to you guys to earn that opportunity and to set yourself up in the best way possible for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. I mean, obviously that's not even something being, still several weeks out that we're even thinking about, and I'll sound like a broken record, but that's how we are about our culture. That's how passionate we are about our mission. Our mission is to attack every week like it's a playoff week or like it's a preseason week. We're going to prepare to be at our highest level every week. I mean, it just so happens we're in an open week this week, so we've got a good practice yesterday. We'll have a second good, solid one this afternoon, and then we'll have a workout tomorrow before we let them go for a few days at the end of the week to kind of recharge the batteries. And then we're going to get ready for a region opponent in BGA who, their record might not show it, but they're a good football team. You look at them at tape, and I know they're, I think, a 1-7 team right now, but they are not a 1-7 team as far as how they play. So we know they're going to be fired up and ready to play coming off a win. And we know we've got to prepare for a region game back at home here in less than a couple weeks. So that's what we're going to focus on.
We're going to get you out of here. Last thing, we're going to get you out of here, Justin. This classification's kind of controlled at the top right now by Lipscomb Academy, a team you guys have played. CPA and Lipscomb obviously play next week. What's the roadmap for beating Lipscomb?
I mean, they're a talented football team. I mean, it's clear that they have players that they've got speed, they've got size, they've got really there's not a whole lot of weak spots across their personnel and their roster. So, I don't know if there's any secret other than, you've got to play really sound football for 4 quarters in all 3 phases. There's not a lot of room for error. They've got an explosive offense with some guys that, if you make one guy miss or they get out in the open, they can put 6 points on the board pretty quickly. So, I don't know if there's any secret other than, you've just got to be ready to beat a very talented team when it comes to their personnel and kind of who they have and the playmakers they have on the field. And that's no secret. I don't think anybody that's played them, anybody in our region, but again, we've seen them once. We'll worry about them if we happen to see them again at some point. But, right now for us, our focus is on getting some much needed rest and wrapping up this week and get back some fundamentals and then get ready for a BGA football team there.
Yeah, you guys have earned a nice break here, Justin. Congrats on the great start, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about Geisinger. You have followed him pretty darn close. What is it that has made him one of the best coaches in the mid-state area?
Well, I think, it's first off, it's hard to ignore the fact that this guy is well accomplished in his football career. Not only did he play at Vanderbilt, SEC, Power 5 conference, he played in the NFL, and it wasn't just a cup of coffee in the NFL. He had a good stint. And so I think players have always want to kind of listen to a coach a little bit more, knowing that they've kind of been there, been through it, especially at a high level like FBS and then the NFL. And then he just brings an infectious attitude of positivity to wherever he is. I mean, he's one of the most genuine people I've ever had the pleasure of interviewing, talking with, and that's infectious, and it rubs off on his programs. His players will run through a brick wall for him. And so, and not to be overlooked, he brings in really good assistants. I mean, his staff is really good as well. And you know what? Just wherever he goes, he just has a winning edge. And obviously, he's brought that down to Franklin. And I think sometimes maybe he was overlooked a little bit in D2 3A with so many of the great coaches that are in that league. And now that he's in D2 AA, maybe this might be our opportunity as a whole to kind of maybe appreciate Justin Geisinger a little bit more. Yes, there's the Trent Dilfers of the world. Yes, there is the Ingle Martins of the world. But now maybe this is an opportunity to kind of appreciate what Justin is doing at a school like FRA.
Okay, that's a little bit of what's going on with a football team that has certainly gotten people's attention in the mid-state area. We'll go to a break, and then we'll talk more about games that will be starting in around 20 minutes, week number 9 of the high school football season. This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Do you love bacon? I mean, do you really love bacon? Who doesn't, right? The 3rd annual Murfreesboro Bacon Fest is coming up Saturday, September 10th. Admission and parking are free. The Bacon Festival will feature live music, food, and craft vendors. And did I say bacon? You can ride a
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
We are back here on Friday Night Live. He is Zach Womble. He's for Tennessee tomorrow. That's Billy Derrick over there in the left corner in the little boy area.
You get a real kick out of that, don't you?
Well, so did Zach, if you noticed.
I chuckled.
Yeah, it was funny. How things going over there?
That wasn't funny, George.
No, it was very humorous. Anyway, let me just profusely apologize for that, Billy. So we got a big game tonight in Greenbrier. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so an opportunity for Pearl Cone or Greenbrier, really, but more so Pearl Cone, an opportunity for the Firebirds to win their respective region championship. And so, they're on the road this week, and it's going to be a tough environment to play in, but they're 6-0 in Region 5-4A, George. Greenbrier 4-1. That's why I say you can't count out Greenbrier because record-wise, they're right there in it. But Pearl Cone, a really good football team, 6-2 on the season. Greenbrier has kind of struggled a little bit this season, a loss to White House, a couple other losses on their schedule to kind of make you scratch your head. But, a game that could end up being good just because it's on the road. You never know how a team's going to act away from home. But Pearl, I think they have a team this year that can make a real run at it, and I think it starts tonight. I believe Brady and Blaine caught up with John Elmore, Greenbrier's head coach, earlier this week on the Main Street Preps North podcast. So why don't we hear from him, the man himself, instead of hearing me ramble about the game?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MSP North podcast. It is October 13th. Apologies for the late start. We were sorting through some technical difficulties. I'm Brady McTemney. That's Blaine Keller. Blaine, start us off, as always, with the weather report.
Absolutely beautiful day today. I believe it's in the 60s right now. A nice, good amount of sunshine. Leaves are falling. It feels like fall, and next week it will too after some showers yesterday, a couple of tornado watches in Middle Tennessee and Nashville especially. I feel pretty good about the weather going into this next week.
Sweater weather for the rest of football season. We're going to obviously start us off with another great interview that we're very excited about today as we welcome in Greenbrier, John Elmore. John, how are you today?
Yeah, we've got 1 second before John comes in here. They've got a pretty exciting game coming up. The Bobcats do against Pearl Cone, a high region impact game, and we're going to welcome him in right now. Coach Elmore, how are we?
Doing very well today. How you guys doing?
Doing good. It's a bit of an interesting one for you guys going into this week's Region 5-4A contest at home against Pearl Cone, especially looking at last week's game on the road at Creekwood. 36 total points in that one, a 30-6 loss, but only 2 offensive touchdowns by both teams. Coach, this felt like a pretty weird game. Can you kind of talk about that one and what your team kind of learned?
Well, yeah, it definitely was a strange game. We kicked off to Creekwood and actually on the first play from scrimmage intercepted it. Travarius Flood did and ran it back for a score. So, just a few seconds into the game, we're up 6-0. And then both offenses are, they did a great job defensively against us, really held us in check, running and throwing. And our defense did a really good job. But their first score, ironically, was an interception as well. Ran it back for a score. Then their second score was a block punt for a touchdown. So it was, like I said, it was, the first 3 touchdowns and not a single one of them was an offensive touchdown. And then they scored a couple of times later in the game, to put it away for them. So it was one of those it was a defensive, both teams played well defensively, but they did a better job at it than we did. So.
Yeah, you're listening to the MSP North podcast presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. We're here with John Elmore, head coach of the Greenbrier football team. John, there's been a little bit of inconsistency for you guys. You've had a couple of dominant wins, looking at Glencliff, Lawrence County, Hillwood, Montgomery Central, and then, of course, losing to Creekwood. How do you think you guys might be able to find that balance, maybe play a little bit more consistently great football, as we've seen that you guys are capable of doing?
Yeah, more consistency on offense. Our defense, like I said, even in the Creekwood game the other night, played very well. We gave up, like I said, 2 offensive touchdowns. And then in the Central game, we gave up 1 score, and the other games we did really well. So I still go back to just our consistency on offense, especially running the ball. We've got to, get a little more yardage with that, and which sets up our passing game as well.
You guys had a lot of success in that region slate that Brady kind of mentioned there. Wins over Glencliff 47-13, Lawrence County 22-0, Hillwood 47-2, and then Montgomery Central 20-7. Creekwood was your first loss in region this year, and obviously you guys don't want to go back to back there, and hung with Pearl last year up until the fourth quarter. Talk about the importance of this game against the Firebirds, especially when trying to get maybe that top 2 seed in 5-4A.
Well, that's just it. It's at this point of the season, really, truly, every game is a playoff game because we still need another win. I think to be able to get into the playoffs. So this one is huge from that point. Of course, Pearl Cone comes in. Their only 2 losses are Cane Ridge and NBA. Well, that's 2 exceptional football teams, and so it is a huge challenge for us because Pearl Cone, they have excellent football players, quarterback, receivers, running backs, but their line has done a great job, and now, of course, they're very well coached. So we're going to have to play our best game, and just keep the mistakes, to as few as possible.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned it there, Coach. Closing out the season with a lot of games that are super important. Tullahoma, the reigning Class 4A champions, are not as good as they were last year, but it seems like they're kind of finding their footing a little bit in that region. Marshall County, of course, hung really tough with Pearl Cone last week in the fourth quarter. How important, what do you guys need to kind of see from the team in the last couple of weeks in order to kind of lock up that playoff spot? And it would be your first since 2017.
Just our defense has got to keep playing as well as it has been, and we need to create some turnovers on defense. But then, offensively, we got to, drive the ball, whether it's by running, by throwing, combination too, and score points, get in the end zone. That's the main thing. And of course, special teams, it's such an important part because, like I said last, we had the block punt for a touchdown, and so those things we've got to clean up as well.
Absolutely. Coach, we thank you so much for your time. And Brady, we'll see you out there on Friday at Greenbrier. It should be a really fun and exciting game. Best of luck on Friday, and we can't wait to see how that one plays out.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. And we're excited about it because I've known Coach Bernetti for a long time. Our sons played junior pro football about the same time. And so I've known Tony for several years now.
There you go. A little Fred there for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, John. I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
We're going to take a quick break here.
Wow, they were about to take a commercial break for us. So, Zach, talk to me about what it would take for Greenbrier to pull this upset.
Well, I mean, I think it's the same formula for any football game, George. I think it's you win the line of scrimmage, you win the turnover battle, and you make big plays down the field. Listen, Pearl Cone has got athletes. They always have had athletes. And so being able to limit them in space is going to be absolutely key. You look at Pearl Cone's Javion Kennard. He's 5'8", 160 pounds, but boy, is that guy lightning fast. And so players like that are all over the field for the Firebirds. So can Greenbrier tackle in space, and can they limit the big play? And conversely, can they capitalize on plays down the field? Can they get big plays on defense? Can they win the turnover battle? And, of course, winning the line of scrimmage goes a long, long ways. But all that said, I just don't know that Greenbrier can do that. I like Pearl Cone. I think Pearl Cone can really make some noise in that region this year, in that classification. So I think it all starts tonight.
Okay, we are probably about 5 minutes away from a lot of the 7 o'clock kickoffs in Middle Tennessee. And so we'll be getting you reports from people all over the mid-state throughout the next few hours as the games start rolling in. Billy, give me 2 or 3 that we really need to pay attention to.
Well, George, I really like this Oakland-Riverdale matchup. Oakland, this is not the same Oakland team. They lost to CPA, and CPA, of course, they're a respectable opponent, but that just doesn't happen. I mean, that doesn't happen to Oakland. So they are still 6-1. They're 3-0 in the region, but they have to play at Riverdale. I mean, that's not easy. Not an easy trip for Oakland. Being a region matchup. If Tyler Palmatier writes, I love how he said this, if there was a perfect time for Oakland's 36-game win streak to end, last week was it. They lost, of course, at CPA, and obviously it won't count against the region standings, but we'll see how they kind of respond after that loss. Do they come out here and beat Riverdale on the road, or do they let it kind of snowball here? So a tough spot at Riverdale. So I like that one, George, but also I also like looking at the list. I love East Robertson and Westmoreland. What Zach?
The Terry McCormick Bowl.
Yeah, the Terry McCormick Bowl. I can't wait to hear from him, and we got to check into that game live on the call. So that one, I'll give you 3 though, George. Goodpaster at Davidson Academy as well. Davidson Academy is a little down this year, but that game's always a good game. One of the bigger rivalries in that area, in Division II AA. Goodpaster has some talent this year. Jaron Elkins, he's one of the better running backs in the mid-state. 200 yards rushing in his last 2 games. So there's some definitely a few games that have heavy impact. That one right there in that division, Goodpaster, Davidson Academy, and East Robertson and Westmoreland, and even Oakland and Riverdale. I mean, there's you're getting to that point where, at the end of the season, it's almost already playoff time. I mean, maybe there's not as many games this week as there might be next week that really impact the playoffs. But this week, it kind of starts that.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with everything that you said, except for one thing. I don't think Oakland Riverdale is close at all. I think Oakland dang near puts 60 on them. I don't think they give up more than 2 touchdowns, and I think they roll.
They don't like each other, do they?
No, they don't. And I wouldn't be surprised if they call this the backyard brawl. They seem to call everything that down there. But Tyler Palmatier with another great line as well. An opportunity for Kevin Creasy to teach his guys and to bring them back in, reel them in, and say, hey, just because of what we've done in the past doesn't mean we're going to be handed a trophy in the future. So an opportunity for one of the state's best coaches to teach. And so I like that opportunity. I like that week for him to do that. And I think they come out tonight and they just rock and sock the Riverdale Warriors to a big win.
Rock and sock.
Yeah, you remember those things?
Rock 'em, sock 'em robots?
Yep.
That's a toy George had back in the day.
Yeah, he got that under the Christmas tree when he was about 8 years old. So you remember that, George?
What year was that?
I really don't. Keep going though. Just bury yourself.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like to imagine George was like the Ralphie on the Christmas Story, came down in his pink bunny suit and was excited to see all the presents at hand, and so just had himself a good Christmas.
Whatever.
In 1964.
Go drink your milk.
We got the first Madden video game ever invented. I think that was in George's 10th.
He did play-by-play for it.
Now that I probably did do. Okay, so we're a couple of minutes away from opening kickoff of games throughout the mid-state. We'll come back. We'll check in with some of the reporters covering those games. This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615 259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time. I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome into hour number 2 of Friday Night Live from our studios at Main Street Media. George Plaster, Zach Womble to my, I guess that'd be to my right. And then over at the little boy table is Billy Derrick.
I love it. Love it.
How we doing over there?
Doing all right, George.
We're doing better than the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves were awful tonight.
They got pounded. 9-1, I believe, was the final. Not that it's really going to make any difference. They will play tomorrow in Game 4 in Philadelphia. And looks like Charlie Morton. Don't know who the Phillies starter is, but that's a noon game, Nashville time. By the way, late word out of Lexington is that Will Levis is good to go for the game against Mississippi State. And if that's the case, Billy, my little plaster pick of Kentucky.
Hey, your pick just won.
Looks a little better, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mississippi State is a very good team, but Kentucky is a completely different team with Will Levis in the lineup.
Wasn't he the guy that lost the game at Ole Miss?
I mean, he's going to be a first-round draft pick.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know that you can say he's, this huge difference maker when he's the reason they lost.
Did you see what their game looked like last week without him?
I did not. I don't make a point to watch Kentucky football. They're bottom tier. I don't care about them.
Well, maybe that's why you don't know.
But I'm just saying, like Will Levis, let's not pretend like he's just this great quarterback that's going to come in and revolutionize the sport. I mean, he cost them against Ole Miss because he couldn't figure out how to hold on to the football.
Well, I mean, that's against the top 10 team on the road. I mean, we get that. But I mean, he's Kentucky's a different team with him in the lineup. That's all I was saying.
Hold on a second. Didn't Kentucky beat Tennessee 30-6
when
less than 2 years ago?
Oh, you mean in the COVID season under Jeremy Pruitt? Yeah, congratulations. What was that, 1 in 30 years?
Oh, I understand that.
Hang on to that one,
Hold
George.
on. I don't care one way or the other, but don't sit there and act like Kentucky is
They
second
are.
tier.
They
not
are second tier. What do you mean they're not second tier? We treat the University of Tennessee treats Kentucky the way the University of Florida treats the University of Tennessee, which is they own them historically, forever and always.
Okay, but
just because they have a win 2 years ago doesn't make them on the
some
same
of that
playing
has
field as
ended
Tennessee.
under Mark Stoops. They're not a second tier program.
They're an okay, fine. They're a 9-3 program at best.
That's not bad.
I mean, no, it's not bad, but it's not tier one.
Okay, what is tier one?
Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. Those are the tier ones.
Really?
Yes.
And so now suddenly,
have you forgotten who
in
built
the last
that
3
conference?
weeks, your school has become tier one? And
I would say
now,
over the last 125 years, George, have you forgotten who built the SEC?
Oh,
It was
my.
Tennessee and Alabama.
This is getting
you
wacky.
haven't been there in 15 years.
This
Did
just
college
got
football
really
history start
wacky.
15 years ago, George? I know your black and gold is bleeding through
No,
here, but
I'm
let's try
not.
to think rationally here.
I'm trying to be fair about
You know,
it.
you're not.
Zach,
You're pretending
Zach.
like college football started in the 2000s. What do you mean?
Zach, I'm not. All I'm saying is it's been a while since Tennessee's been tier one.
I never said it hadn't been. My point originally was Kentucky is tier two. They always have been and they always will be.
But in the last year and a half, they have certainly been past that.
No, they're not. They're not on the level of Alabama, Georgia,
nobody
and Florida.
is.
That's tier one. Tennessee's not tier one in
Florida
the last
is
15
not at
years.
that level.
I'm pretty sure they have 2 national titles since the turn of the century.
Well, I understand that. But I'm saying in the last few years, it's Alabama, Georgia, and then everybody else.
Anyway, I don't really know where this conversation's going, but I mean,
Well, you got
All-
upset
all
because I
I-
pointed out that Tennessee in the last 15 years,
because
according to your definition, has been completely irrelevant.
For the last 15 years, they have by their standards because their standards are national title contenders. Yes, they have been irrelevant, but college football history did not start in the year 2000.
I'm well aware of that.
They're a top 10 program. They built the SEC with Alabama. Let's not pretend like that them and Kentucky are on the same stratosphere just because Kentucky has had some upstart years under a head coach.
Okay. Do you not think over the last 8 to 10 years that what Stoops has done is pretty impressive?
For Kentucky standards, yes.
No, for anybody's standards.
No. Not for tier one standards, no.
Okay. But you're putting a program at tier one that hasn't even been relevant in 15 years.
Tennessee looks like one of the best teams in the country, George.
They do at this moment.
Exactly.
But for the last 15 years, don't act like they've been tier
George?
one.
I'm trying to keep up with the goalposts being moved here. They are one of the best teams in the country this year. So
They
they're
are
tier one
this year.
Were they the last 15 years? No, they weren't. But this year, I feel like you can put them in the conversation with the best of the best.
I have no argument to that. They are absolutely right now tier one.
Yes.
Okay. But you've sort of downplayed Kentucky as though there's some little sister of the poor. That's been a solid program.
To
now
Tennessee,
for a
they
while.
are. To Tennessee, they are.
Well, in
George.
recent years, they haven't been.
They have. I mean, but to Tennessee, you are asking me my Tennessee perspective, and I am giving.
I'm not asking you your Tennessee perspective. I'm asking you to be fair.
I feel like I am being fair, and fairness is seeing it for what it is. They have 2 wins over Tennessee since what, 1985?
Exactly. No doubt about it.
So because they had one in a COVID year, I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean that Kentucky is to the same level as Tennessee. They're just not. Are they better as a program?
Your program hasn't beaten a tier one Alabama in 15 years.
No,
so where does that put you?
They have not, but are we saying Kentucky and Tennessee have the same history? No, they haven't beat them in the last 15 years.
Of course not.
But the series was like 25-25 until Nick Saban got there.
I'm not even arguing whether Kentucky has the history Tennessee does. I'm just saying that in recent years, that's a program that deserves a little more respect than that.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, are they going to get to a Peach Bowl this year? Maybe. Yeah. And that's good for Kentucky. That's good. But if you're a fan of a tier one program, that's not good enough. That's all I'm saying.
This took an interesting turn.
Well, now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. But if you're a fan of a tier one program, that's not good enough.
No, if you're a fan of a tier one program, your expectations and your aspirations should be a national championship.
Okay.
And the Chick-fil-A is a great bowl. It's a good time in Atlanta. Great time. But it's not, I mean, it's if you're Alabama and you make the Chick-fil-A bowl, are you happy? If you're Kentucky and you make it, are you happy? Yes. That's all I'm saying.
If you're Tennessee, you're happy.
Yeah, because of what they've been through. But if you take that out and say they haven't been the sisters of the poor for the conference, and you say you make the Chick-fil-A bowl, you're probably disappointed in that. If you take away the pure just ugliness that's been Tennessee football for 15 years, and you ask them in 2007 when they win the SEC East, hey, you're going to go to the Chick-fil-A bowl, they're probably not very happy. They want to play for a big bowl game.
The Chick-fil-A, you're talking about the Peach Bowl.
Yes. Now it's a New Year's Six bowl.
Has become one of the better bowls out there.
Yeah, in the last 3 years. Okay. I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this, but
Well,
I'm sure
fun.
that's why we have no watchers.
Fun.
That's why we have no watchers. That's why nobody's watching.
Well, it started.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, I did, but I mean, clearly no one cares.
Oh, no, you and I care.
You and I care, but no one watching cares.
SMU cares.
They do.
They're up 10-0 on Navy right at the end of the first quarter. Okay, where are we going, Billy?
Well, we can go a few different places. Father Ryan and Macaulay are playing right now. The Irish have just taken a 6-0 lead early on Macaulay. So that one's early in that first quarter.
Is that here or up there?
That is here in Nashville. So we'll see about
Our
how that one ends up.
scoreboard update.
Yeah, first little scoreboard update.
Okay, what will be the second?
The second, you kind of caught me off guard here.
Beach
George.
leads Gallatin 14-0. Apparently,
good Lord.
Bronco Hanks
14-0. They haven't played for 10 minutes.
They were leading 7-0, and then Beach linebacker all-state selection Bronco Hanks blocked a punt, took it to the 5-yard line before they ran it in for 5 yards out to lead 14-0. I said in my pick'em column this week, and I meant no disrespect in saying this, but because people want to take it as disrespect when you pick against their team. But the idea to me that Gallatin was going to come in and beat Anthony Crabtree, Beach's head coach, at his own game was just an idea I could not get behind. Gallatin's identity is running the football, run middle, run left, run right. That's what they do. Plug A gap, plug B gap, plug C gap. And that's what Anthony Crabtree has built a career on at Beach. 18 years. He has two state titles, a runner-up. I mean, he's won hundreds of games at that school by running the football consistently every game, year in and year out. And so I just never thought that Gallatin could beat Beach at their own game and then 14-0 early.
Shows what we know.
Nothing, usually.
Do we have another score?
George, there's really not a whole lot. I'm struggling. I had access to the Main Street Preps Twitter account here on my laptop, but I feel like I just lost control of it.
Yeah.
Fayetteville has an early 8-0 lead over Red Bank in that game. Let's see here. That's all I've got right now.
Smyrna's got an early 7-0 lead in their game. They are playing. Who are they playing? Dixon County. So they got a 7-0 lead over Dixon County. Smyrna, a really good team out of Region 5, 6A. They match up with the Region 5, 6A, which is Beach, Hendersonville, Gallatin. Smyrna is in that region with Cane Ridge and Overton. And honestly, George, I mean, Sumner County last year, they swept that region in the playoffs, and they kind of dominated them. I think it could be the other way around this year. I mean, I really like what Cane Ridge is doing. I really like what John Overton is doing. Smyrna in third place at 6-1, 6-2. I mean, they're a really good team too. So, someone in Metro this year could have a really good year. I've been saying it's been going to be Cane Ridge all along, but someone's going to have a really special year out of that region.
Isn't it good, though, that we're starting to get a little more Metro?
Man, yes. We've been saying for a long, when COVID happened and Metro decided to, pretty much cancel their season and not give the opportunity to play, it really put them behind the 8 ball. And I thought it was going to take them a lot longer to kind of recover because so many great players had transferred out to different programs. But credit these coaches, these leaders, these athletic directors in Metro Nashville for kind of putting a plan together, giving these players a roadmap, and giving these coaches and these teams the resources to kind of make up for that lost season. And they've kind of bounced back in a big way. And you just love to see it, honestly.
what did they get? It was like 4 regular season games and then playoffs.
And then playoffs,
if they could get in.
Yep, playoff 4 regular season games, playoffs if you could get in. And like I said, I mean, it's nice to see that the uptick back, whether it's Cane Ridge, John Overton, I mean, you name it, Smyrna, Hillsboro. Well, Hillsboro's having a down year, but Procone. It's just nice to see Metro Nashville kind of not be, I don't know, can you say be back? It was always really good, but just kind of be back to just bringing that local flavor, that local flair to high school Friday night football.
Okay, we'll get some reporter updates as the games have gotten underway. They've been going now for about 15 minutes. The show is Friday Night Live, and this is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Do you love bacon? I mean, do you really?
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bar Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Rub your name, sir. You are right now?
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It is 7:20, and we welcome all of you back to Friday Night Live. Zach Womble.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We're back. George Plaster.
And then Billy Derrick. Billy, how are you this evening?
I'm great, George. I couldn't be better.
Well, that's wonderful. What scores do you have for us?
I got logged out of the Main Street Preps.
Yeah, something's
Twitter,
going on with our
so
internet here.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Obviously, it's not down because we're still broadcasting. But same thing happened to me, Billy.
So you're not able to get into the account?
No. Well, no. I mean, I can't get a. Oh, well, there it goes. I was going to say I couldn't get an internet page to load, so I got it loaded now. But there's just a few scores rolling in. I mean, it's not much. Dixon County ties it with Smyrna 7-7 with 7:40 left in the first quarter. DCA leads MJCA 14-0 early first quarter. Friendship Christian leads East Hamilton 17-7 with 8:32 left in the second quarter out in Memphis, Tennessee. The Firebirds are up 7-0 with 7:20 to go in the first quarter at Greenbrier. Davidson Academy leads Good Pasture Christian 6-0 with 8:14 left to go in the first. So a few scores rolling in a little early. So encourage everyone to head on over to Main Street Preps on Twitter. Give us a follow just to see the latest, just so you have the latest from all of our area reporters who I think are at around 20 games tonight. So a lot of games to choose from.
We do have Brady McAtamney on the line with us right now as Brady's reporting live with us. Brady, how's your game going tonight?
Whistle was loud.
Yeah, that was a loud whistle, wasn't it? I'm currently at Pearl Cone at Greenbrier. Pearl Cone currently leads 13-0 with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Okay, so they have totally dominated early. Tell us how.
Yeah, so early on, Pearl Cone returned a punt for a touchdown. Stats guys had it at a 93-yard punt return for a touchdown, so that was very impressive. On the ensuing Greenbrier drive, they got an interception, and then Pearl Cone eventually cashed that in for a touchdown just now.
Brady, I made the point earlier to George. He asked me how Greenbrier could win, and there's a lot of things that can be said, but one of the things is just trying to corral these Pearl Cone athletes in space. Obviously, Greenbrier's down 13-0. You mentioned a punt return for a score. How are they looking on just that ability to try to just, keep their athletes in check?
Yeah, well, it's really a matter of keeping them out of space. And, when you punt it to them, you're going to want to try to not put it right on their guy as they did. They're obviously Pearl Cone's just got a ton of speedy guys, and Greenbrier just doesn't quite have that. They're better off dominating in the trenches, trying to stop those runs up front, forcing them to throw, and pray for the best. Pray you can get good coverage. But they've been called for a couple pass interferences already, and that's just not going to do them any good, especially when they're also turning the ball over.
Pearl Cone with an opportunity tonight to kind of wrap up that region. They're 6-0 right now, an opportunity to get to 7-0. If they're able to do it, obviously it would be big for Pearl Cone. I know you don't get to see them a lot, Brady, but what kind of has impressed you about them so far outside of their athletes just being athletes?
Yeah, well, I will say this. I went and saw them last year when they played Montgomery Central. That was a really good game last year when Montgomery Central was a really good team. And one thing that blew me away about Pearl Cone, their band was awesome, man. That was probably the best high school band I've seen so far.
They do have a great band.
That should be worth a field goal, shouldn't it?
They do have a great band. I wish you were at Pearl Cone to get the full experience of that band. Did they bring the band tonight to Greenbrier?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Did they bring the band tonight to Greenbrier?
Unfortunately, the band is not here today.
Just everybody.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, everybody's missing out on that one, man. Everybody's missing out on that one.
It's tragic.
Well, Brady, man, enjoy the. I know you're working hard for us tonight, man. But I bet you're kind of enjoying that Montgomery County bye week this week.
just to kind of piggyback, go back to Montgomery County, what's kind of the on plan for the coaches this week? How are they kind of all approaching the bye week?
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys just want to get healthy, want to maybe look at some scheme things. For the better teams, they really want to look ahead to maybe some region games that are still coming up, because I think each one has maybe one region game left, maybe two for some teams that'll really decide their playoff fate. And there are a couple teams still in the hunt there, and I think they're really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, Brady, we really appreciate you calling in, man. We'll let you get back to your game coverage. Again, he's at Greenbrier tonight as they face Pearl Cone. Pearl Cone trying to wrap up a region championship. Call back in later for us, Brady, okay?
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Here's one of the things you notice when the underdog, to win, what you were basically saying was Pearl Cone Greenbrier's got to play a near perfect game.
Right.
So what happens right off the bat? 93-yard punt return against him. In special teams, if you're going to be the underdog and win, that cannot happen.
Amen. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly right. It's the third phase of the game that a lot of people forget about. And you're right. If you're going to pull an upset, not only do you have to be dang near perfect offensively and defensively, but you have to steal some possessions one way or the other, whether it's an offensive onside kick, whether it's a punt return for a score. Pearl Cone doing that. So, no real surprise there, but, maybe it'll turn into a game. We'll see.
Got a few scores to roll in here. Coffee County leads Cookeville 3-0 there in the second quarter. Franklin County is up on Spring Hill 14-0 in the first quarter of that one. Station Camp and Portland are tied at 7 in the second quarter. So second quarter starting to roll in for a lot of these games. That's actually the 104.5 game. Station Camp Portland, underrated game, I think, tonight.
Yep.
DCA leads Mount Juliet Christian Academy right now 14-0. They had a 52-yard touchdown on a screen pass there. So those are a few that have started to roll in here. I know Pope Prep is playing
Knox Catholic
tonight out in Hendersonville. So I'm trying to find a score for that one.
Oakland's already up 13-0 on Riverdale following a 38-yard touchdown run. PAT failed. 7:29 left to go in the first quarter.
Where is that game?
It's at Riverdale. So,
that was their best shot. The fact that they were at home.
Riverdale's just they're just recovering this year. I don't want to say a rebuild this year, but an opportunity for Riverdale to get some younger guys, some valuable reps that will benefit them in the future. But Oakland ain't coming off that loss. It was a bad recipe for Riverdale from the start. I really think that Oakland, I know Kevin Creasy and Coach Will Kreisky at Riverdale, they're friends. They're friendly. They get along. So it's not like Coach Creasy is gonna put up 80 on him, but I think he wants his team to show
some dominance,
to bounce back and show like, hey, let's get back on track here. Let's put up 50 and show last week was a fluke a little bit.
I still don't understand that CPA Oakland game last week. CPA dominated that game.
They did. Oakland was on fall break. It's just, I think they were coming off a bye. Maybe, no, they weren't coming off a bye, but they were definitely on fall break. And just, that's no excuse. Kevin Creasy said that. But, sometimes, maybe this Oakland team just doesn't have the senior leadership maybe that they had in the past to keep those guys accountable. No disrespect to the current players, but maybe they just don't have that voice this year.
Who's their big name?
That's a great question. I think it's more of a team thing this year.
Because they usually rely on a 2 or 3 guys that are, top flight D1 recruits. I just don't know that they have that.
They graduated Isaiah Horton last year, who ended up at Miami. Graduated Jordan James, who ended up at Oregon. So they lost Antonio Patterson, who ended up at FIU. Don't want to forget about him. They lost some key pieces to that team last year, and so just kind of rebuilding a little bit. But like Tyler said, at least it's a non-league game, so it doesn't hurt your region schedule. That Coffee County Cookeville game is one to keep an eye out for because that region matches up with the Oakland Riverdale region. So, Coffee County trying to win a region championship this year on the road at Cookeville. So one to keep an eye on as well. So, yeah, a lot of great football being played tonight.
Okay, why don't we do this bottom of the hour? We'll go to a break, check in with some other reporters around the mid-state area. This is Friday Night Live, and you are watching Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
We're back on this Friday night. Zach Womble,
George Plaster,
Billy Derrick, and a cast of thousands. A couple of minutes, we'll hear from Casey Patrick. He covered the Creekwood-Hillwood game last night. But, Billy, what scoreboard update do you have for us?
Well, got a few more scores to report. Stewart's Creek is up on Siegel right now, 7-3. We've also got, let's see here. Casey Patrick reporting on the Smyrna score. Is that Dixon County and Smyrna?
Yes.
So 7-0 for Smyrna, their early lead. Let's see. Pearl Cone's still up on Greenbrier, 13-0. So that's really what I've got. Hendersonville is tied at 14
with Baylor
right now. With
wow.
Let's see, who are they playing?
Yeah, they're playing Baylor.
Hendersonville.
Yeah.
Why are they playing Baylor? Okay.
Well, they played West Virginia last night.
Well, they they went to Baylor last year. Why they signed a contract with Baylor is beyond me.
Well, good for
when
them.
They could
I mean,
play when they could
tied.
play. When they could instead travel 3 miles down the road and play Pope Prep. Why they won't play those guys is beyond. I mean, I know why the public schools won't play Pope Prep, but they'd rather play Baylor instead.
That's kind of funny, but good. I mean, credit to them.
That's surprising.
Baylor is one of the best teams in the state.
That's surprising. Couple other scores. Oakland leads Riverdale 21-0. Another 53-yard run from the Patriots. DCA, oh my gosh, all over Mount Juliet Christian Academy, 35-0. Just past the midway point of the first quarter, Billy.
Wow.
The first quarter.
That's hard to do in a 12-minute quarter.
Yeah. Bears, Davidson Academy extends their lead 20-0 over Good Pasture. So, yeah, a couple other scores, not many to add with you. You mentioned Stewart's Creek leading Siegel 7-3. Pearl Cone, as you said, up to 13-0.
Blackman, did you just report on the Blackman score?
I did not.
Okay, Blackman leads Rockville 28-7 in the second quarter.
I've also got Station Camp up 13-7 over Portland. Beach remains in front 14-0 over Gallatin. So it looks like Gallatin as well has replaced. I don't know if they've replaced their quarterback, their senior quarterback. I don't know if he's gotten hurt, but Blaine Ridings is in the game now for Gallatin, a freshman. So something to monitor for the Green Wave moving forward.
Middle Tennessee Christian School tied at 7 with Knoxville Webb. That game is early in that second quarter. So those are some of the scores that we roll in. Let's go live now to Casey Patrick. Casey, where are you reporting from tonight?
Well, actually, I'm just doing a little bit of reporting from last night. Hillwood came to Creekwood over in Charlotte, and I got to cover that game. It kind of went how I expected it to. Hillwood's been struggling this year. They did come out and throw the first punch, a big pass over the middle, got down in field goal territory and converted the field goal, but that would be the only points they scored. Creekwood went on to score 31. And, like I said, it kind of went the way I thought it would. Creekwood's been really hot the last few weeks. So they were able to play really well again.
Yeah, Casey, I mean, you mentioned they've won 4 in a row, 5-3 overall, talking about Creekwood, 4-2 in region play, which is, I believe, good enough for third. No, well, I guess in fourth technically, according to Coach T, but an opportunity to move up.
Opportunity.
What have they been doing these last 4 weeks because defensively, listen to their scores. They've given up 3, they gave up 0, 6, and then 3 again. So obviously defensively, something's working. What have you seen from them this last month of the season?
Well, realistically with those guys, it's something that they take pride in their defense. Coach Smitty, the defensive coordinator down there, he's one of those guys who is so locked in. If you're ever on the side of the field, ever on the sideline, and you're anywhere near him, you would think this guy's coaching in the Super Bowl. He's locked in. He's calling out plays before they happen. He called out every single play in the first quarter last night against Hillwood before it happened. And it tells you the type of preparation that he puts in. And that kind of fills in with the rest of his kids. Those guys, like I said, they take it serious. Like they take it personal if you think you're going to score. I know they got Coach Collins. He kind of gave me a little joke last week. He said, man, you said we were going to give up 7. We didn't give up nothing. And I thought, well, there you go, Coach. Good job. So they, like I said, they take defense personal down there, and they use that defense to kind of help out the offense. Their offense is not bad by no means, and they've got a lot of talent all around. But the defense just funnels in, and they usually have control of the side of the field that they want to be on, and that's how they control games. And it's it's fun to watch that defense because those kids fly around. They have a lot of fun. They enjoy themselves. And like I said, it starts from the top down, and Coach Smitty, he takes that job seriously, and so does Coach Steele. And those guys, like I said, they're working really hard. And that's what happens when you work really hard and you got talent.
Casey, before we let you go here, did you have another one, Zach?
No.
Okay.
No.
I got a good one here for Casey. Not
All
high
right,
school.
here we go.
Tomorrow, you know where I'm going. Casey, you talk about fun defenses to watch. That Bama defense has been pretty fun to watch this year. Where's
fun
your
to watch them tomorrow too?
Where's your confidence meter tomorrow for that game?
Let me tell you something, buddy. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care what anybody wants to say about it. I might be arrogant. I might be ignorant. But Tennessee's going to win by 2 touchdowns. That defense is going to be fun to watch because Hendon Hooker going to be running that thing up and down the field all day tomorrow night. I am too excited. I'm too hyped, and I need to get off the phone before I have some blood pressure problems.
Wait,
I'm telling you right now, Tennessee is going to win that football game, and I don't think it's going to be close, especially if Bryce Young don't play. I'm telling you right now.
Casey.
I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care.
Casey,
you can't tell me nothing right now. I'm telling you.
No, I have a serious question. How do you smoke a cigar, Casey?
I don't know. I ain't never smoked one, but I guess we're going to figure it out
We're
tomorrow.
going to find out tomorrow, baby. That's right.
Smoke them if you got them, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Vols.
Go Vols, Casey.
Casey, don't go yet.
Okay.
Don't go yet. So, under what scenario do you not believe Bryce Young is playing?
Do I not believe he's playing? Let me tell you why. Because I think his lawyers and his family are going to step up at some point and say, look, I know that your tradition goes back a long way, Alabama, but we've got a young man here that's about to make a lot of money. And here's the thing. As West versus East, if you look at it, it really doesn't matter that much as far as the conference schedule or the conference record goes. Now, that's not to say it doesn't matter to me. It's not to say it don't matter to both sides. But if you start to look at it and you use your brain, it tells you that, Bryce Young probably shouldn't play in this game because it might affect him money. Tennessee leads the SEC in pressures. If they get to Bryce Young, they might hurt him worse. I don't think the young man should put himself on the line, but I would love to face Alabama at full strength because I don't want to give any of them any reason to believe that they should have won.
Amen. I'd rather lose to Alabama
100%
with Bryce Young than beat Jalen Milroe
every day.
Because
100%.
Because he's right.
There's an argument to be made after that. At that point, you said there's no Bryce Young.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just say, well, we didn't have our Heisman quarterback, and I want no excuses for those knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing inbreds.
Well, and here's the thing. For me, the thing is, look, Alabama is a very good football team. And without Bryce Young, they're still a very good football team. I don't think they beat Tennessee tomorrow in Neyland with Bryce Young or without Bryce Young. But I don't want to give anybody a reason to think, we should have been 16 straight, because I just don't think Alabama wins. They have not been playing well. They have a better roster. And by all means, Nick Saban is the greatest college coach of my generation and maybe of all time. But I'm telling you right now, the thing about that is they're not playing well, and you have to play well. You have to play well if you're going to beat one of the other teams. Tennessee has been playing well. They killed LSU in their house. Tennessee is playing good football. They're confident. That's like 90% of the battle. If you have any talent and you think you're the best football player on the field, you're already better than everybody else that thinks they're not. And if Tennessee is going to play at that type of confidence level, and Alabama hasn't played great, and everybody other than Will Anderson's got confidence through the roof, but how does everybody else feel? So, I'm taking Tennessee. It is my team. I look through orange glasses, and I don't care. I think they're going to win.
Casey, what are you going to do if Tennessee wins tomorrow?
I probably need to go ahead and figure out my will this evening.
Oh, no.
What happened?
I lost Casey.
Did you hang up on Casey?
I accidentally hung up on Casey.
After asking him what he was going to do, you hung up.
He had a great answer for it because Tyler Palmatier started calling me.
Where is Tyler?
Tyler Palmatier, let's go to him now. He is in the hill. Oh, now Casey's calling me back.
Of course he is. All
right,
He was not finished with the preamble.
No. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call Casey back, but let's go to Tyler Palmatier. He is in the hills of Northwest Nashville. Tyler, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good.
Where are
you guys? Sound like you're scrambling a little bit, but we're kind of chill out here.
He's a good pastor.
We got a nice drive going. Do what?
I'm sorry. George was asking where you were, so I just told him you were at Davidson Academy tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm out at Davidson Academy. Good pastures in the house for homecoming. And Davidson Academy's up 20-0 at the moment. Certainly been an awesome night for Cortland Simmons so far. He's accounted for all 3 touchdowns for Davidson.
speaking of Good Pasture, they've looked really good this year, Tyler. I'm not sure how often you've been able to see them or even keep track of them, but they're an underrated team. I think a lot of people believe that in the mid-state. What have you seen from them so far tonight, and what kind of damage do you think they could potentially do down the stretch of this season and then into the playoffs?
Well, this game, honestly, the loser's probably not in the playoffs. I mean, it's not a mathematical guarantee there. So, really, this is pretty much, this is kind of it. I mean, there could be some chaos happening.
This is a playoff game, essentially.
Yeah, and then, like I said, it's not a mathematical thing. It's not like it's clinched.
Right.
But it's an uphill battle for the loser here because, the only other team that could potentially come up and potentially help them into the playoffs would be, BGA would have to do something crazy, and they've got a kind of a tough finish. So, yeah, that's just me prognosticating. But this is one that both teams need to win to not have to face this huge uphill battle to get in the playoffs. I mean, Good Pasture's been okay. Jaron Elkins is a good good ball carrier. He's the quarterback, but they started him at running back and had a different guy behind center, and then they've since gone back to Jaron behind center. But it's that's kind of been their only offensive option at this point, and Good Pasture has 2 yards of offense here as we're 3:53 to half. So that's the picture for Good Pasture. Davidson Academy, on the other hand, they've got Cortland Simmons back. They've had him back for a few games, but he missed the first 3 or 4, and that's a huge piece for them. I mean, he is dynamic. He's really hard to stop downfield when he gets running. He's always moving forward, and then as we saw earlier, they can do some things with him. They kind of handed off to him on a jet sweep, and he ran out right and threw a 40-yard touchdown pass. So it's of course it's a trick play. It's not like he aired it out or anything, but you got to be somewhat skilled to get that kind of stuff done. So everything's working well for Davidson, I'd say at this point.
Tyler, I'm curious. Have you had an opportunity to talk with Jonathan Quinn about his team's confidence? I mean, if you look at Davidson Academy, they're 3-4 going into this game, and that's a far cry from the success that they're kind of used to and they built up at Davidson Academy. I'm wondering where this team's confidence level is right now. Obviously, probably in a good place with the win tonight, but I'm curious if you've had a chance to ask Coach Quinn about that and just kind of how his team's feeling at this point in season, maybe not enjoying what they're maybe accustomed to.
Yeah, no, I haven't really spoken to him, but their schedule was pretty front loaded, and that was without their best players. So I think that I think they're at 3-4.
Yeah,
could be wrong right now, but the record's 3-4. But I just don't think those early losses. I just wouldn't put any weight into them. 2 weeks out from the playoffs, they're healthy again. That was a tough go of teams to start, and I think we've kind of discovered how good FRA is. And FRA came in here and won. And Davidson didn't have Cortland Simmons. It's a big thing. He's just a guy. He's a guy you can give it to for 1 yard. He can also take it 40. But if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 4th and inches, like he's just a great option to have back there. So I haven't talked to Coach Quinn about any of this, but I would guess you got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
To have your full roster back, as Good Pasture coming up with a nice defensive play here. Big loss. That's kind of one of their biggest momentum plays here. And Davidson's in the red zone, so that was pretty big. But how good could you got to feel good knowing that you kind of weathered an early, took some early lumps, but now you're full. Your roster's full again, and you get another win here tonight, and you're in the pretty much very close to the playoffs. That's a good confidence booster.
Absolutely. Tyler, if you've got time for one more question, I'd love to talk to you because, we've been talking about Franklin Road Academy at length here today and really kind of for the past couple of weeks. You had the chance to sit down with Justin Geisinger with Russell earlier this week. We heard from Coach Geis that interview, but I'm curious your thoughts. I'm always curious just your takeaways from an interview like that with Coach Geis and just how he's been able to turn this program around so quickly.
Yeah, well, he's just, if you just want to look at Justin Geisinger as just a coach, he just kind of just always has a plan. He kind of just always seems like he knows what he's doing. He doesn't really get rattled. He's got extensive experience in football at the high school, college, and NFL level. So I think he came in with a really good plan. He just, to me, just my opinion is he just seems like he's just on top of everything. Now, that doesn't give you a whole lot of insight into what he's doing, but I think he's got a good staff, and I think they had a good little foundation over there. But I think in Justin Geisinger, I think we just have in this area, he's one of the really good coaches.
Yeah.
I think he's talked about, but sometimes I wonder, is he talked about enough? I think what he's done over there in 1 year is impressive because it's a well-run football team. If you watch him play football, it's not chaotic. It's done really well. And to that effect, I think Geisinger's done a great job. But I think you also have to mention when there's coaching transitions, players have to jump into that, full bore to be able to for that to happen. If you have a bunch of guys that really don't care about the system and they don't want to do it, then what are you going to do? I think they've got a bunch of good players with their good heads on their shoulders too. And he mentioned just the word they bought in, which sounds so coach speak, but it's a thing. If somebody takes over, if you work at a corporation, somebody takes over and none of the employees are on board, that's a problem. So that's kind of what they have going there. I think he's a good manager of people and of kids. And he obviously talked a lot in that interview about Franklin Road Academy's culture and what it expects from kids off the field and its coaches. So, and he obviously just kind of knows what he's getting into over there. And I think you put all those ingredients together, and that's why it's been such a nice surge from that program.
Tyler, appreciate your taking the time to come on with us and talk a little
George,
bit about.
I didn't hear your voice.
Oh yeah, I've been quiet.
Well, that's not normal.
No, it is not.
You're right about that.
Been a long day.
Well, I missed you, buddy. I missed your questions, man.
No problem.
I'll have to catch you next week. You can grill me again.
No problem. Listen, good talking to you.
Okay, see you guys.
Tyler Paul Mateer reporting. Billy, what do you got over there?
Well, I got a report from Chris Lowe. Nick Saban is hopeful that Bryce Young will play tomorrow.
Shocker.
I've seen so many different reports with the same exact quote from Saban. The writers love feeding off of the coach speak from Nick Saban, but I mean he's going to play.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I mean I think we've got to assume that until you see otherwise, he's going to play. Now, the question becomes at what level, at what percentage of, whatever 100% health is, what is he?
I'm so intrigued to see what level Bryce Young is at, because that has such an impact on this game. If Bryce Young can't push the ball down the field the way he is used to doing, that's going to play a huge factor. We'll see it early on. We'll see it very early on, because if he can't, that's an X factor for Tennessee. I mean,
and then not having Kamal Haddon if you're Tennessee at cornerback,
right? But on the other end, if he is able to, that's bad news for Tennessee.
Probably not having Jalen McCullough, which I haven't seen anything fine. That's such a weird situation.
I've heard he's practiced, but he's probably not going to.
So the inside report now is that when he was defending his home, he hurt his hand really badly, and so I guess I don't know if he's in an air cast, but
I mean at the same time
pretty badly.
At the same time, I mean, he was accused for assault. Like,
yeah. You know what his problem was? Is he chased him out of his apartment and beat him up outside of his apartment.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Because if he would have done it inside of his home, it would have been a standard B&E type of situation where you're defending yourself. But it's still a really weird situation. Just the reports that were given, the story that was written. You've got several witnesses on McCullough's side now.
My cousin is like a door down, and he said it was ugly.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really weird. But I don't anticipate him playing. You don't have Kamal Haddon as one of your cornerbacks.
It's Warren Burrell's out.
Warren Burrell's he's out for the season. He's been out for a couple weeks now. He's out for the season.
So a young guy like Wesley Walker is going to have to
Walker,
step in.
Danico Slaughter. It's an uphill battle. That's why I said Tennessee, if they play a perfect game, 40% chance to win.
Right.
I mean, I'm not even giving them a 50% chance to win, realistically.
I feel like for Tennessee fans now.
Now Casey appeared to have a higher.
Well, Casey,
but that's Casey.
That's fine. Listen,
there's a level of emotion that Tennessee fans gather, and they get to the point where they're convinced they're going to win, and then they start thinking about reality.
This is the first time since 2007 where you could say Tennessee has a realistic chance.
Oh, absolutely.
It's no longer a pipe dream. And so fans are running with that. They are absolutely, I mean, they're talking about storming the field. They're talking about tearing the goalpost down. I mean, it's going to be complete chaos in Knoxville. If
there's a $5,000 fine.
They could get.
They just got a $3 million.
Hold on, I
donation.
think he's about to say he'd pay it.
I'll pay it. Yeah, I'll pay it. Honestly, I hope they don't rush the field. I hope they don't tear down the goalpost, because act like you've been there before. Just because you're coming off of 15 years of non-relevancy doesn't mean you should cast aside all of your traditions and your expectations and your experience. I don't want them to storm the field if they win. I don't want them to tear the goalpost down, because let's not give Alabama too much credit now.
It's interesting, though, the pressure's on Tennessee. It's almost like Alabama doesn't. They're coming in here. Nobody's picking them to win.
Alabama. Nick Saban's done a good job of laying down that rat poison this week. 1,000%.
He has so much rat poison.
He has so much rat poison out this week, and
we didn't even know what rat poison was until
I don't
2 years
see. I don't
ago.
think Tennessee has pressure. I don't. I don't think they play with any pressure. I think it's Alabama with all the pressure. Because if Alabama loses, then it's like, are they done? Has the SEC finally caught up to them?
Technically, they're not. They're not, though, because you still have it's an East loss. So
certainly. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Alabama twice this year.
I've heard discussions of that, which is very interesting.
Because the way Georgia looked against Missouri, I mean,
yeah,
they didn't look great. So
who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But hey, interesting note tonight. Ashton Jones, the son of Jody Jones, who, of course, George very close with all of us are, really. Yep. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. DCA all over Mount Juliet Christian Academy, 42-0. So
make that 48-0.
Wow.
They just scored again.
Give it up for Ashton Jones.
They score quick.
Ashton Jones just scored another touchdown. He's up to 5 now.
Oh, wow.
For the game. So
goodness.
So Ashton Jones
good
getting
for him.
It done. Just absolutely getting it done. Should we take a break?
Let's do it.
You know what? Let's do.
Let's take a break.
It's 7:56, so we're getting very close to halftime in a lot of the games. We'll come back, report on those in a moment. This is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Do you love bacon?
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bar Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Run your name, sir. Where you are right now? Now.
Welcome in. This is the 8 o'clock hour of Friday Night Live. Zach Womble,
George Plaster,
Billy Derrick. Why did we reverse that? You said each other's names and I said my name.
I don't know.
It's late. It's getting late.
Yeah.
I got to say this, and I want to say thank you to Vandy Chris 5 on Twitter. He says, worth noting, Fayetteville is putting it on pretty good against 7-0 Red Bank tonight, Class 1A versus Class 4A, and it's getting ugly. With 4:44 left in the first half, it's Fayetteville 30, Red Bank nothing. 1A versus 4A, just putting it on them.
Okay.
Biggest upset of the night so far.
Talk for people who don't really understand or maybe have not cared, the difference between 1 and 4 here.
Well, so first off, it comes down to your enrollment numbers at your school. And so, the TSSAA, they divvy up the schools based on their enrollment numbers. So if you're a Class 1A program, you've got 300, 400 kids maybe in your school. If you're a 4A program, you've got –
which some schools at that size don't even suit a football team.
Right. At 4A, you've got maybe 800 kids. So, I mean, you're looking at a big, big difference just from the number of bodies that's in your hallways during the school days. And then, Red Bank 7-0, I mean, that right there lets you know that they're a really good team. But, for a school like Fayetteville, who, let's be honest, is maybe has 300 kids in their school. And, of those 300, they've got 60 really good football players. This is a state champion program.
It's a football school.
That just kind of they're the only show in town, if you will, in Fayetteville. And so they've kind of got the support of everybody behind them. And they're just rolling tonight. So, the biggest thing I can say is you're taking a school with 300 kids and you're beating down a school with that's, almost 10 times your size.
Speaking of that, we've got a great matchup of two powerhouses, East Robertson and Westmoreland tonight. And look who we've got on the line. Terry McCormick reporting live. Big game, Terry. Big game tonight for you guys, Terry. How's it going?
Well, right now, East Robertson leads 14-7. We're at halftime.
as you hear the Eagle marching band playing behind me here. East Robertson broke on top, scored on the first drive of the game as Z Prince, let's see, first name there is Isaiah Z Prince, ran 48 yards on a 4th down and 4 play to the end zone untouched. And then after that, in the second quarter, it went back and forth, and the Eagles fumbled on their own 13-yard line, and the Indians were able to cash in there and scored to take a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. But Westmoreland was able to answer, and they pieced together a really nice drive, going 67 yards, I believe it was. They got the ball at their own 33, so 67 yards. And get this, Nick Gray, who has only played defense this year, he was supposed to be the starting fullback, as that was his spot last year. But he's only been able to play defense this year because he had suffered an injury in the spring, and they didn't want to overuse him. First carry of the season, 11-yard touchdown to get Westmoreland on the board.
Terry, it sounds like to me that Westmoreland is grateful to just be down by 7 going into the locker room. You give up a 4th down conversion for a touchdown. You turn the ball over inside your own 20, and just like that, you're down 14-0. But it sounds like to me Westmoreland did a really good job of kind of regrouping and getting down for a score just to go down by 7. Is that kind of your feeling as well?
Yeah, they are kind of fortunate to only be down 7, and the better news is they're going to get the second half kickoff. The thing is, East Robertson was really the first couple of drives of the game. East Robertson was blowing them off the football. They could have easily had a 3rd touchdown because they were in Westmoreland territory at about the 30-yard line, but then back-to-back holding penalties pushed them out of scoring range, and they wound up punting on a quick kick. And so, for about the first 2 or 3 drives, they were really winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, the Indians were. Then all of a sudden, on that last touchdown drive, Westmoreland's offensive line decided it was their turn to kind of push people around, and they were able to piece together a very nice drive, getting chunks, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time as they went downfield.
Very good. Well, Terry, I know you got to get back to your duties. I told you earlier today we were going to make this a quick one. I know you got a lot to get to. Thank you so much for calling in, giving us an update, man, and enjoy the second half.
Terry, where was the Yankee report? Right there with the Braves report.
Yeah, right there with the Braves report. Yeah, well, I didn't even look at the final on that. I know it was 6-0. What did it turn out to be?
9-1. We got a lot of Jake Odorizzi and Jesse Chavez.
Oh, that's always nice. That's always nice when you can reach deep in the bullpen for those mop-up guys.
Oh, my God. We went very deep.
Oh, and like the Yankees just, they struck out. It was a 10-inning game, so there were 30 outs. 15 of their outs were strikeouts. That is unacceptable.
Who do they pitch tomorrow night?
Severino.
Yeah. This will be interesting.
Big game.
So he's been sharp lately. He's been very sharp lately. So I'm hopeful that he will get it done tomorrow and give them 6 or 7 strong innings.
Terry, appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, George.
Terry McCormick. This wasn't even a Daily Titans update.
No, it wasn't.
Appreciate him calling in.
I got to brag a little bit here. Father Ryan is fighting with McCauley right now. It's still 7-7 in that second quarter. My little brother, Joseph Derrick, is in the game right now. Backup quarterback. I'm not sure what happened to the starter, and they're actually in the red zone right now. So,
man, what a win.
Got to keep an eye on the Irish.
For the fighting Derricks, that'd be a win. That'd be a huge win. No, seriously though. I mean,
it would, because I mean, you look at the season. It's I hate saying all but lost, but it hasn't been a great season for the Irish, and they've had some close losses. Their last 3 losses have been by 1 touchdown. So it's just been that kind of a season. But maybe there's some magic in the air tonight.
Can I ask you just a ridiculous question, Billy, as a Father Ryan guy?
Go right ahead.
Say I give you a win over Pope Prep next year, but you don't win another game all season. Is it a successful year?
I can't go that far. It's not Vandy. Like if this was Vandy in Tennessee, I would say that. But For Father Ryan, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
but,
I wondered. I just wondered. Because you said not all but lost, and I wondered just how much your mindset would change had they beaten Pope this year.
But yeah, I think there is a little bit of that. If it's a season, depends on the season. Like if it's a season like this and they win a couple games, but they beat Pope, then yeah, maybe I think I could go there. But if their only win was Pope, I don't know about that.
Fair enough.
But no, it is that kind of rivalry though.
Yeah.
But they got to beat them again to make it, I think, what it used to be. Because I mean, Father Ryan
7
Pope,
in a row now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 7 in a row. So, but that they've got more of a chance of beating Pope than NBA year in, year out. So
most definitely. And I think next year could be a good opportunity.
Without Minchie,
you to get
Father Ryan gets
back.
a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. And Rector, he's done a good job. It's just so tough in this region.
Yes,
it is so tough. And it will be interesting, though, to see if that does happen down the road.
You guys want to give a scoreboard update?
Oh, I'll give you one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Padres score early.
I would like to see them
on the
beat
Dodgers.
I would like to see them beat the Dodgers.
First of all, there's a hatred there.
For the Dodgers?
Oh, the San Diego people hate the Dodgers. Because, look, they're only separated by about 90 miles. And so you've got this infiltration of Dodger fans in the San Diego area. For the last 3 or 4 years, while the Padres have thought they were getting there, the Dodgers have rubbed their nose in it. And the Padres would give anything to beat the Dodgers in this series. 1-0, San Diego, bottom of the first, still batting.
Very nice. Well, let's go to our scoreboard.
Well, we do have Russell Venozzi on the
nice.
line.
Perfect.
Real quick, he is at. Sorry to get. I know you got to get to that scoreboard update. We do have Russell Venozzi.
That was perfect.
On the line.
Russell takes precedence.
Yeah, for sure. We'll take. Yeah, most definitely.
Anytime we get a call from Russell, we got to take it.
It's big.
But Russell is at Nashville Christian, and interesting matchup. Columbia Academy traveling over to Bellevue to play Nashville Christian. Russell, how's that one going tonight?
Hey guys, here's one score for your scoreboard update, just to give a teaser to everybody. But Nashville Christian is beating Columbia Academy 17-7 at halftime. So there you go.
How about that? Russell getting in on the action.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you take it from here, Russell. Go ahead.
All right, let me pull up Twitter real quick. Just give me a second.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's been a good game so far. Nashville Christian got a couple touchdowns there in the second quarter. One of which, if you haven't seen, you need to go back and watch. I tweeted it out at RussellV_MSP. Freshman quarterback Jared Curtis just made an incredible play. He just improvised and ran all the way kind of east and west, and he was able to switch hands. He's a right-handed passer, and he was able to switch the ball to his left hand just at the last second as he was getting hit, and was able to flip a ball into the end zone, kind of a Patrick Mahomes style improv job there by the freshman. So, and the guy that caught it was a freshman too. So, two really great playmakers for Nashville Christian, and they've got quite a bit of football still ahead of them here.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. That's a very headsy play by that guy, especially as a freshman as well. Russell, Nashville Christian, they're, like you said, they're up big. They're having a pretty good year this year. What's kind of your feeling about the Eagles this year and just how far they can really take this season? Do you think they can get to that state championship and give themselves a chance of bringing home that gold football?
Well, if you had asked me the last time I saw them at the end of August, I would have said no. They started the year 0-2, lost to Franklin Road Academy in Good Pasture. And, of course, with starting a freshman quarterback, there's some real ups and downs. But this guy is talented. He passes the eye test, no doubt. And he's made some great throws this year. He's got well over 1,000 yards passing. He was our Main Street Preps Football Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago for his crazy performance he had against Davidson Academy. I think he went over 300 yards that night and 5 touchdowns. They'll probably go as far as he's able to take them. They've got some other good skill players as well. But, he did throw a couple of interceptions after that touchdown pass that kept them from having a bigger lead. So he's kind of maturing before everyone's eyes. I think he's going to be a really special talent. But I think the jury is still very much out on Nashville Christian as to like what kind of postseason outlook they've got. But hey, they've won 5 in a row, and if they can get this tonight, I mean, they're going to be set up pretty well to get one of those top seeds in their region.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at Billy there.
let's go to the other side of it. Let's go to the other side of this football game.
Columbia Academy.
Between them and Columbia Academy. Thank you, Billy. I was looking at Tyler's game. What have you seen from Columbia Academy that's tonight that leads you to believe that maybe the Bulldogs will have a say in Class A as well?
Well, yeah, they've competed well. Like I said, they got those 2 interceptions, one of which was by Knox Love in the end zone, so that saved a touchdown there. And actually, I think the other one was right at the goal line too. So the defense has kind of stood tall there twice with interceptions near the goal line. Otherwise, this would be more of an lopsided score at this point. But the offense is kind of struggling to move the ball. I think they've got about 120 yards of offense right now, and their star running back Monty Baldwin has been held to 48 yards on 13 carries. So yeah, I'm sure in the locker room right now they're trying to figure out what they can do to move the ball a little more, because with the way that Nashville Christian can throw it with that freshman quarterback Jared Curtis, it seems like they can score pretty quickly if they need to, if this ends up being a close game in the fourth quarter.
Russell, I want to leave you with this, and I know you don't, and I know it's hard to keep up with Fayetteville. They're just so far away. But, man, they're beating up on 7-0 Red Bank right now. That's a Class 1A versus a Class 4A, and Fayetteville leads them 30-0. Someone made the comment that they may roll to another Class A state championship this year. I just wanted to share that with you just because, I mean, Class 1A versus Class 4A, you just don't expect something like that from your scoreboard update.
Yeah, you love to see it. And, of course, they won that state title a couple of years ago, kind of a Cinderella story there, I believe that's a new school too. So
yes,
good for them. Good for them getting that, kind of showing their muscles there.
Absolutely. Well, Russell, we're going to let you get back to your game, man. We really appreciate you calling in, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. And hey, George, I've got 2 words for you. Go Phillies.
Hold on a second. Russell, what's the connection?
Well, yeah, I'm not just saying that to pull your leg up. My dad's from the Trenton, New Jersey area, grew up there as a hardcore Phillies fan. That's really how my sports kind of life started, as a Phillies fan. So we've been it's been a tough decade here, but man, it's been a great run, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the weekend shakes out there.
So are you a big Eagles fan?
No, Titans fan all the way. It's just the baseball team that stuck. So anyways, it's been a rough decade. Most of my life has happened since the last time that they were in the playoffs. So pretty neat to see them with some signs of life here.
Listen,
Russell,
they've picked a good time to get hot.
Yeah, I'm a Braves fan, but you deserve this. I don't know if they win the series, but you deserve that game today.
Yeah, I'm just soaking it all in at this point. Like, hey, this just feels like gravy. Anything from here on out.
Listen, that place was on fire.
Oh,
today.
man.
They were really into it, which is no big surprise. Philadelphia sports fans are great fans. Now, they'll boo Santa, but they're great sports fans.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a rougher crowd than we're used to around here.
Yeah,
I don't think we –
Hey, the old 700 section in the vet, a little rough.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to experience that, but I think the nosebleeds in Nissan Stadium are maybe a little more family friendly than that was.
Yeah, most of what I've got is from Frank Wycheck. He used to tell me he grew up in Philly and used to tell me about the 700 section. Said it was rough.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Hey, take care. Appreciate your calling.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Okay, so they're ganging up on us, Billy.
Yeah, they really are.
We got Zach, who doesn't care, doesn't know if a baseball's pumped or stuffed.
Yeah, I don't care.
Now we got Russell coming at us.
Zach's all football, man.
Yeah, football and basketball are my two go-tos. Baseball's just.
You're telling me you didn't feel a little bit of Southern pride after the Braves won it all, though?
You didn't care one way or the other.
That's the South's team, though.
They're based in Georgia.
That's the SEC's.
They're based in Georgia.
But there's no other. I mean, St. Louis, yeah, but that's like Missouri.
That's the Midwest.
I wouldn't. No,
But the Braves are like, that's SEC country, man.
Oh, you don't want my opinion on that either. I'm not an SEC guy. I'm a Tennessee guy. But yeah, I found no. That's not true. Like when I was growing up, there was a gentleman who an older gentleman, grandfather figure, if you will, that we would sit down and watch games in the late 90s and early 2000s, and that was cool. But then life took us in different directions. I no longer had that person in my life to watch baseball, and so I just grew out of it.
Yeah, baseball is a very familial sport.
Yeah.
I've always been a baseball family. We play baseball,
Yeah.
and we love it. We watch it. So I definitely get that. And sports can be the same way, but I think baseball, if you grow up watching it with somebody, it's not really I'm going to watch it by myself, but growing up, if you watch it, with your granddad or your dad, I mean, that it brings back a lot of memories. So I definitely get where you're coming from.
This has turned into the Waltons.
I just don't I never had a lot of pride in them, even during those like early years of watching Smoltz and Glavine, and Andrew Jones is still my favorite baseball player of all time. I mean, his swing was so smooth. The way he patrolled center field was second to none. But there was I never felt this huge sense of pride for that team or really any baseball team to be honest. But that said, if Nashville ever got a team, I would be all in. I would give them every ounce of fandom opportunity, the same way I've done the Sounds. I mean,
go to 3 games a year.
No. I listen. I will go give them a chance if and when it happens. The same way I give the Sounds a chance. I mean, the Sounds are a big reason why I still kind of pull for Oakland, just because they were their affiliate for so long. I wasn't going to root for the Rangers, certainly not. Brewers. Ricky Weeks, Prince Fielder, back when they were with the Sounds, when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. That was a lot of fun.
What about the Tennessee Smokies?
I mean, they're a Cubs affiliate, up in Kodak.
But you're more of a Nashville guy.
I'm more of a Nashville guy, yeah. And my dad got me into rooting for UT, so that's why I root for Tennessee. And so, never had anybody really get me into baseball. So
there it is.
We've tried.
There's your reason. I mean,
Billy, we have failed.
I'll go to a game like if you want to go to a Sounds game next summer, like just to go and enjoy it, I will do that. I'm game for it. But I'm just not the guy that's going to order MLB on TV and watch 162 games.
Well, it's funny. I talk about familial. My dad and my granddad always loved baseball. It's funny. George's dad, he hated baseball, didn't he?
He could have cared less.
Yeah.
He had no idea what was going on. And when he got forced to take me to games when I was a kid, he hated it.
Oh.
Absolutely hated it. But we got to go to a break. We have bills to pay. This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East And for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time. I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time. Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your nose, sir. Where you are right now? Get ambulance now.
Okay, a lot of the games, as we welcome all of you back, are now into the second half. And with that in mind, Billy, you got a scoreboard update?
I do have some. I think Zach's going to get to the beef of them.
Yeah.
But Oakland leads Riverdale 35-6. So that's where that game is at right now. Beach leads Gallatin at the half 21-7. Let's see here. Friendship leads East Hamilton 24-7. That one's in the third quarter. Smyrna leads Dixon County 17-7. So those are where those games are at. Those are actually some pretty big games. Davidson Academy leads Goodpasture 20-0. So that's where I'm at, Zach. I've got those. That's what I've got right now.
Hey, where's the beef? Let's bring the beef, Billy. The beef.
I'm going to start the music, and Zach's going to get to the beef
scoreboard update
presented by
Donley
Timmons Custom Builders.
We're starting in Region 3. Coffee County leading Cookeville 10-0. It is Friendship Christian 17, East Hamilton 7, Lenoir City 28, Hickson 0, Whitwell 22, Lookout Valley 6, Polk County 21, Marion County 7, Warren County 17, Shelbyville 7, Bledsoe County 38, Tellico Plains 0. It's Tyner Academy 26, Meigs County 0. Blackman leads Riverdale 35-14. Cannon County up on Community 14-0. Clay County with a 47-0 lead over Grundy County. It's Ray County 38, Howard 7, McMinn County 10, Walker Valley 7, Oodlewall 21, Soddy Daisy 0. Like Billy just said, Oakland 35, Riverdale 6. DeKalb County and Upperman tied at 7. It's East Robertson 14, Westmoreland 7. Cascade leads Loretto 13-6. Moore County 35, Collinwood nothing. Cornersville 12, Wayne County 7. Fayetteville all over Red Bank 30-0. It's Beach 21, Gallatin 7. Eagleville 21, Huntland 7. Smith County 41, Jackson County nothing. Tullahoma leads Lawrence County 10-7. It's Chester County 7, Lexington 3. Gleason 24, McEwen 8. Lincoln County 18, Columbia nothing. Hollow Rock, Brewston 36, Perry County 22. Franklin County 21, Springfield nothing. It is Stewart's County leading White House 7-0. Over in Region 7, we've got West Carroll leading Greenfield 22-0. Lake County 24, Halls out of West Tennessee 14. South Gibson trailing Haywood 35-14. It's Peabody 40, Humboldt 0. Crockett County 3, Jackson Northside 0. Milan 14, Obion County 6. Station Camp 21, Portland 7. To Region 8, it's Covington 31, Dyer County 12. You've got Father Ryan and McCauley tied at 14.
McCauley actually just went up 21-14 in that one.
There you go. Chattanooga Christian 62, Grace Christian Knoxville 14. Boyd Buchanan all over Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish trail 42-0. It's Davidson Academy 20, Good Pasture nothing. I believe Lipscomb Academy leads Pure Youth 35-10 at the break. DCA not listed here, but they're all over Mount Juliet Christian Academy. I think they're up 49-0. Ashton Jones with 6 touchdowns right now. Nashville Christian leading Columbia Academy as well. I think, what did Russell say? 17-7 on that. It's not listed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jackson Christian leading FACS 35-0. And that is your scoreboard update presented by Donnelly Timmons Custom Home Builders.
There it is. There are the beefy scores there. And the one I'm surprised by, and I'm not trying to be a homer here, but Father Ryan and McCauley so far. I did not expect that at all tonight. But some interesting scores, definitely. And Zach, looks like you were right about Oakland.
Yeah,
they're looking like they're going to roll tonight. And DCA all over Mount Juliet Christian, 56-0. That one is of note as well. So
Jody's kid is killing it.
Oh yeah, what is it? 6 touchdowns?
6 touchdowns, including a pick 6. Smyrna leads Dixon County 24-7, courtesy of Britton Barnett. 11:47 left to go in the third quarter. Brady McAtamney tweeting at Carson Wood punches in a 7-yard Greenbrier touchdown. They now cut the lead to 13-6 in Greenbrier. So Pearl Cone not getting out easy tonight.
We do have the Portland game we can go live to on 104.5 The Zone.
Let's do it.
If you guys are ready for that, and we go to 104.5 The Zone.
Have you been waiting for just the right job? Then welcome to the end of your search. Amazon has seasonal warehouse jobs in your area, and now is a great time to apply. You can start getting paid right away and work close to home. Applying is easy. You don't even need an interview. So what are you waiting for? Come join the team and get a great seasonal job offer today. Visit Amazon.com/hiring. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Mark stopped inside the 20 at the 14. Gain of 3. It's 3rd and 2. 10:25 to play. Clock ticks. There is a Portland Panther down being looked at inside the 15-yard line as the clock stops at the 10:22 mark. So a 14-point advantage for Station Camp, but Portland driving and threatening, as we'll try to get a read on the Portland Panther that is down. We'll quickly go back to our man Joe Hunk. He is at the 104.5 The Zone studios with scores. He will be with you until 11 p.m. Tate Matthews, Joe Spears, various guests, and you. 615-737-1045 to join the conversation. Joe, if we could start at the Battle of the Borough again, obviously one of the biggest games happening in the Mid-State tonight. What's going on here in Week 9?
Lucas, right now, Oakland is up on Riverdale, 35-6. Right now, the game is at halftime. The other game that's really big right now going on is in Gallatin, between Beach and Gallatin. That's still getting close to the first half wrapping up there. Beach is up 21-7 in that matchup. And also looking over there at Woodbury, as Cannon County is currently up on Community 14-0.
Thanks for that, Joe. Here it's 21-7 Station Camp, and Freddie Paxton was the Panther that was down. Looks to be cramps. He's walking it off. Coming back to the near sideline. So Paxton out for the moment, which is huge for Portland in a critical situation. 3rd and 2 on the Station Camp 14, down 21-7, 10:22 remaining in the game. Station Camp looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Portland looking to stack back-to-back wins over the Bison for the first time in the series. Officials stop things here. Not sure for what. They're having a discussion. Billy Fellman is our white hat this evening. And now we will continue as Freddie Paxton's looked at on the near sideline for Portland. 3rd and 2 on the Station Camp 14. Got to get to the 12. Handoff, left side, Dallin, stiff arms in the backfield. He dives to the 10. He's got the first down. 4-yard gain by Dallin. And that's who the Panthers will lean on here as long as Paxton is not on the field. 9:46 to play. 1st and 10, Portland on the Station Camp 14. It's quite a hill to climb for the Panthers. Down 14 at home with less than 10 minutes to play. They can start by scoring here. 1st and 10 on the 14. Handoff around right end, and nothing going for Mason Swanger. Swarmed and cut down by Sanders Ellis. Does get a gain of 1 on the play. It's 2nd and 9. On the 11 of Station Camp. 9:10 remaining. Handoff, double handoff, and tripped up and falling down at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play is Dallin. Might have tripped over one of his blockers, and he goes down right at the 11, and it brings up 3rd down. 8:49 to play here. No question Portland needs a touchdown here, no matter the circumstance. Down 21-7 at home with 8.5 to go. On the 11 of Station Camp, 3rd down. Faking the give is Box. He rolls left. He wings it over the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Ellis. He's downed at the 10, and Station Camp stands tall inside their own red zone. They will take over at the 10-yard line on a pick by Sanders Ellis. And Station Camp fans making their voices heard from the far side. With 8:25 remaining, the Bison get the ball back, hanging on to a 21-7 lead, having it on their own 10-yard line for 1st and 10. Box rolled left, tried to toss it over the middle, get it over the outstretched arms of Ellis to his man in the end zone, and Ellis made the play. Quick pass left side for Dickens on 1st and 10 for Station Camp. It's caught and bumped out at the 20 for the first down. That's Gage Moore. Gain of 10. 1st and 10. Station Camp on its own 20. $8:16 remaining. Station Camp. 1st and 10 on its own 20. Up 14 here at Portland. Handoff up the middle. Nothing going there. Half a yard, maybe 1 for Abner. And at this point, the Bison looking to just see it out. If they can avoid turnovers here and chew some clock. 2nd and 9 on their own 22. Shotgun snap, Dickens. Looks to the screen to his left. Pump fakes it there. Now takes off up the middle. He is hit, spins off a tackle at the 25, but he is bottled up. And the forward progress will mark him down at the 25. It's a pickup of 4 on the quick scramble by Luke Dickens, the junior quarterback. Leads this team in rushing, averages 91 yards per contest. Station Camp got punched in the mouth early in this one. 3 and out on offense. Long drive by Portland. Surrendered by the defense to trail 7-zip, but 21 unanswered in the first half, and no score by either team so far in the second as Dickens rings out a left flat pass that's tipped and nearly picked off by Barry, but incomplete to bring up 4th and 5, and now Station Camp will have to punt it back to Portland. Good to see Freddie Paxton back out there for the Panthers, cramped up near the end of the Portland series last time out, but he'll come out as the punt returner here. As Lancaster, the wide receiver, will punt it away. He's had some nice ones tonight for Station Camp. Bison looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak, coming off a loss to Wilson Central a week ago. Lancaster on 4th and 5 from the Station Camp 25. Gets the punt away. It bounces at midfield, nowhere near Paxton, who's standing all the way back at his own 35. And ball trickles stopping at the 46-yard line. That's where Portland will take over in their own territory. Well, now the sense of urgency will pick up for Portland with 6:55 remaining in the fourth quarter, down 21-7 here at home in week 9 of the 2022 regular season. And out comes Braden Thornton, the junior quarterback who started the season for the Panthers, got injured, replaced by Cullen Box, and Wes Inman said Thornton will play if needed, and here he is. On 1st and 10, Portland on his own 45. Handoff up the middle, Paxton fumbles the football, body's falling on it. Station Camp saying it's theirs, and it is. The Bison will get it in Portland territory with 6:48 to play. Handoff up the middle for Paxton, his first play back in the game after the cramps took him out of the last series. Fumbles the ball up the middle, and the Bison land on it. Did not see the Station Camp defensive lineman that came out with it, but that's 2 plays, 2 turnovers for this Station Camp defense, and the offense is back on the field, 1st and 10 on the Portland 45. Dickens in the gun. Station Camp all spread out here. 6:48 remaining in the game. They lead 21-7 on the road. Dickens sends a man in motion left to right. He takes the snap. It's the give. Around right end. Running is Barfield. The Knoxville transfer out at the 35. He picks up 10. Will move the chains. Formerly of West High School out of Knoxville. Barfield, his former team, having a heck of a season in East Tennessee, but it's been a really nice addition to this Station Camp offense. Trayvon Barfield will stay in the game, number 18, stacked up in the slot to the right. 1st and 10 for Station Camp on the Portland 34. They'll send Barfield in motion again, fake the gift to him. Off goes Dickens, 25, 20, down the right sideline. Cuts inside 10, hit from behind and out inside the 10. Tackled by Dalton, but a 1st and goal for Station Camp with 6:29 to play. And surely a score here would end it. On 1st and goal from the 8, Station Camp moving toward the end zone to our right. Shotgun snap, Dickens. Over the middle, it's intercepted. Intercepted by Portland. Right to left go the Panthers at the 25, the 30, the 40, the 50, 45, 40. Down the right sideline, hit from behind. Brought down at the 35 is Sean Sebring. The freshman picked it out. Intercepts it on his own 5-yard line. And he returns it 60 yards to the Station Camp 35. Down after the play is the freshman Sebring in pain on that far sideline. What a swing here. Station Camp looking for the nail in the coffin. Lobbed ball over the middle. Dickens just did not see number 40, the freshman linebacker, Sean Sebring. 5'10", 185 pounds. Caught it like a center fielder. Almost like he didn't expect the football there, but he made the grab. And you got to credit Luke Dickens, who chased him down and saved the pick 6 at the 35. But Sebring is still down on the field, being looked at by Portland trainers. So as they look at the freshman, with 6:01 to play in the fourth quarter, Portland has new life, trailing 21-7 here at home. Inside the Station Camp 35. They spotted at the 34. Sebring is being helped up. What a play there. So apologies. It was actually Mason Swanger on the interception. Correction, the 40 and 41 got me there. It was number 41 with the interception and the run back, Mason Swanger, who was walking it off here. So it's the senior, able to walk off on his own power, who picked it off at the 5 and returned it 60 yards. Swanger's helmet off on the near sideline. He'll continue to be looked at. But what a play by the senior Swanger to set up Portland 1st and 10 on the Station Camp 34. Down 14 at home with 6 minutes to play. Back in the game is Thornton, the quarterback. His second snap of the ball game. Takes the snap under center. Rolls left. Screen. Left side. He overshoots his man. Incomplete, intended for Dowling. Under 6 minutes to go. It is 2nd and 10. Portland on the Station Camp 34. Panthers have all 3 timeouts still. As does Station Camp. A touchdown here could really make things interesting. Thornton. Under center. 2nd and 10 from the Station Camp 34. The give behind left guard. It's Dallin. Has room. 25, 20. Runs over a defender at the 15. Brought down along the left hash mark. Right there where he's down at the 16. 5:49 to play. First down, Portland. Trailing 21-7 at home. They'll set it up in the red zone. Under center goes Thornton. 2 men in the backfield. The give is to Paxton around right tackle. Finds a crease between the hash marks as he falls forward to the 10. Well, spotted at the 11. Ball came out, but they'll say he was down. Flag is down on the far side, away from where the play happened, with 5:33 to go. A legal substitution on the defense, and that'll help Portland as it tries to get this down to a one-possession game. Week 9 action in the 2022 regular season. Portland 5-2 at home. Station Camp 4-3 on the road. A Sumner County matchup between 2 non-region rivals. With 5:33 to go, Portland trailing 21-7 at home has it after the penalty. 1st and 5 on the Station Camp 11-yard line. The 60-yard interception and return by Mason Swanger, giving the Panthers this opportunity. Handoff up the middle. Paxton has nothing. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage by Pine. They're going to give him a gain of 1. It makes it 2nd and 4 at the Station Camp 10. The line to gain is the 6. We're approaching the 5-minute mark. Portland has yet to use any of its 3 timeouts. Need a touchdown here and then a stop to get the ball back for a chance to tie it up. 2nd and 4 from the 10. Handoff up the middle again. Nothing going. No gain on the play as the fullback, Hunter Mays, give him a yard to make it 3rd and 1. Ball's on the 8. Call it 1.5 here for Portland. 3rd and short. Right side. Paxton gets the give. Around right tackle. He dances along the right hash mark. In for 6. 2 touchdowns for the Portland Panthers, both courtesy of the senior Paxton. And with 4:25 to play, the pendulum swings and Portland is right back in it. An extra point here would cut the Station Camp lead to 7. This is Nick Averett on the PAT try. To the field goal towards my left. Snap is down. Kick is up, and it is perfect. Station Camp 21, Portland 14. A 6-yard touchdown run by Freddie Paxton. And the Bison will get it back on the road with 4:25 to play. Back in 30 seconds, this is high school football on 104.5 The Zone.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply. Get your house decluttered and organized from the chaos of summer. Don't just stuff and stack it. Organize it with Artisan Custom Closets. Tell them Dawn sent you for an additional 10% off and ask about their financing options. Say goodbye to clutter. Get your free in-home or showroom consultation today. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
104.5 The Zone.
Freddie Paxton punches it in from 6 yards out. It was set up by the interception and 60-yard return from Portland linebacker Mason Swanger Station Camp was driving down the field, looking to put the nail in the coffin, go up 3 scores with 6 minutes left, and an interception at the 5, return to the Station Camp 35, allowed Portland to put together a 35-yard touchdown drive capped by Freddie Paxton, his second of the night, 9th of the season, and it is a 21-14 Station Camp lead at Portland High School. Onside kick by the Panthers is covered well by Abner. So Station Camp takes over, up by 7 on their own 44-yard line. Plenty of time remaining. 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Portland has all 3 timeouts. For Station Camp, it's a chance to hang on and snap a 2-game losing skid and improve to 5-3 as they head into a huge region clash at home next week against Green Hill. For Portland, here's an opportunity to get to 6-2 on the year and beat Station Camp in back-to-back seasons for the first time ever. 1st and 10, Bison with it on their own 44. Left to right they go, man in motion right to left as Dickens takes the shotgun snap, fakes the give up the middle. Across the 45, trailing tackle by the ankles, gets him down at the 47. Swanger on the stop. Good to see him back in the game. Was shaken up pretty badly after the interception and the return. He makes the tackle after a gain of 3 by Dickens. 2nd and 7, Station Camp on on their own 47. They're in no rush here as the clock ticks past the 4-minute mark. They get back into formation with 12 on the play clock, 3:47 on the game clock. Station Camp, 2nd and 6 on their own 48, up by 7. And fumbling the snap is Dickens. He picks it up, has to make something of it, hit in the backfield and dropped. Ashton Darnell, the junior. Could have been disaster for Luke Dickens. He scooped up the football and lost 1 yard instead of several more, or worse, the possession. 3rd and 7 after the loss of 1. .307 to play. Clock still moving. Portland not electing to use timeouts. A stop here could potentially force a punt. Station Camp, 3rd and 7 on their own 47. Faking the handoff is Dickens. Throws the screen. Left side, weaving around the backfield. Up the left hash mark to midfield, and hit down there is Lancaster. Swanger came in for the stop, and it is a 4th and 4 scenario for the Station Camp Bison, and there is the timeout taken by Portland. Decision time for Station Camp head coach Brent Alexander. Do you pick up 4 and move the chains with 2:45 to play, forcing Portland to their final 2 timeouts, hanging on to a 21-7 lead, or do you punt it back to the Panthers, try and pin them deep, and force them to go the length of the field and run that 2-minute drill with the wing T offense? What will the former NFL 12-year safety, former veteran of the leagues, decide here? Brent Alexander in his 2nd season as the head coach at Station Camp. Played his high school football at Gallatin High School, same as his counterpart, Portland head coach Wes Inman, also a former Gallatin Green Wave player. Alexander a safety, Inman an offensive lineman. Bison offense is going to go. 2:45 to play. Station Camp with it on 4th and 4 at midfield, up by 7. In the gun is Dickens. Early movement. That might be on Portland. Offside on the Panthers. Wes Inman, hands on hips on the near sideline, the head coach of the Panthers. He can't believe it. On 4th and 4, Portland jumps, and it's a free first down for the Station Camp Bison. With 2:45 to play, game's not over yet, but Portland most certainly will be forced to use its last 2 timeouts here. Station Camp 21, Portland 14. Panthers were down 21-7 with Station Camp driving inside the 10. Had new life with an interception and a long return by Mason Swanger that turned into a Freddie Paxton touchdown. And here is Station Camp again trying to kill the game off on 1st and 10 at the Portland 45. Leading by a touchdown, 2:45 to play. Dickens shotgun snap. Play action. Up the middle. Nothing going. He gains 3 and he's pushed backward. Leading the way on the stop was Ashton Darnell. Timeout Portland with 2:40 to go. Their second timeout of the half. A first down here would essentially end it for the Station Camp Bison. So a nervy finish here in week 9 at Portland High School. Lucas Panzica with you, Joe Hunk, back at the 104.5 The Zone studio. Jackson Williams, our producer tonight. Hunk will be with you until 11 p.m. Friday Night Finals, recapping all the mid-state action. Some big ones happening in region play. A lot of teams off this week, enjoying the bye. For Portland, that already happened. They're coming out of the bye week. And here we go. 2:40 to go. 2nd and 6 for Station Camp. A Sumner County showdown. Station Camp with the football, leading 21-14. Portland down to its last timeout. Shotgun snap, Dickens. Behind left guard he goes. Trailing tackle. He has the first down. Across the 35. He's brought down by Barry, but it might be enough to kill this game off as Portland calls its 3rd and final timeout with 2:32 to play. First and 10, Station Camp on the 34 of Portland, going left to right, operating in the middle of the field here at Edgar Johnson Stadium in Portland, Tennessee. Dickens in the gun. Looks to his offensive line, now glances back to the far sideline at his coaching staff. Clock not running here. Portland did call their timeout with 2:28 to go. Well, now the clock is running. A lot of folks confused down on the sideline. And now we're going to stop things and try and figure out the clock situation. Clock is running as we're almost at the 2-minute mark. And there's a lot of outstretched arms on both sidelines right now as we're under 2 minutes to go. And now we're officially going to stop play and try to figure this out. Okay, so Portland now calls its 3rd timeout. So the confusion was whether or not Portland called the timeout after the last play. And it looks like they didn't. They actually waited and called it here. I think Station Camp was a little confused. Now a flag is down. We're going to try and sort this out here. Billy Fellman, our white hat at Portland High School. I think Station Camp thought Portland called a timeout. I did too. Not sure what the flag could possibly be here. So now the clock is stopped with 1:58 to go. Line judge is pushing Portland coaches back to the near sideline. Wes Inman, the head coach, calming down his staff, trying to settle down, figure things out here. We'll reset a bit. 21-7 the score, 21-14 the score. Station Camp leads at Portland with under 2 minutes to play. It's Station Camp ball, 1st and 10 on the Portland 34. The question is, did Wes Inman call his 3rd and final timeout on the play prior or just now? It's almost as though they allowed him 2 of those 3rd and final timeouts. There was a lot of confusion. Then a flag was thrown, and we still have not gotten a ruling from white hat Billy Fellman. So officials having a conference here. One line judge down on the near Portland sideline, hashing it out with Wes Inman, clearly explaining something. Inman with his headset in his right hand. In his 2nd year full-time as the head coach of the Panthers, took over as the interim in 2020. He is 9-9. So the penalty is on Portland. My best guess is Wes Inman called a timeout for a 4th time, which is a penalty, and now will allow Station Camp to have it 1st and 10 on the Portland 20, and they are in victory formation. An odd ending to this one at Portland High School. the old Chris Webber play. So Portland taking a timeout they didn't have allows Station Camp to get into victory formation, and the clock moves with 1:40 to play in the ball game. Play clock at 35. Station Camp, barring something disastrous here, is going to escape with a win. They will avoid a third consecutive loss and improve to 5-3, returning to 5-5A play where they are 1-3, desperately needing a win in their final 2 games of the year against Green Hill and then Hunters Lane. As Luke Dickens goes back under center on the Portland 21 with 1:12 to go to ice this thing away. Portland, meanwhile, will drop to 5-3. The bad news for the Panthers is they will lose to their Sumner County rival. The good news, this is not a Region 7 5A matchup for West Inman and the Panthers. They are 3-0 in 7-5A, and they will return to region play next week at Springfield. Huge challenge for Portland at the Yellow Jackets. And they've done a really good job of bouncing back from losses this season. Fell at Westmoreland, a tight game, 14-13 in week 1. They rattled off 4 wins in a row. Dropped one at Macon County, 42-15, as Dickens takes the final knee, and then turned around and defeated region opponent Kenwood on homecoming night. So we'll see what Portland can do with this.
And you are listening to Lucas Panzica, courtesy of 104.5 The Zone. Station Camp going to get a big road victory at Portland tonight, 21-14. Looked like Portland was going to make a comeback, but just self-inflicted wounds, whether it be turnovers, whether it be penalties, are going to kind of doom the Purple Panthers tonight. Oakland is all over Riverdale at this point. They lead 35-6 with 6:17 left to go in the third quarter. But instead, we're actually going to send you out to Pope John Paul and Knox Catholic. These 2 teams, D2 3A teams, are battling in a really good one. Pope leads 21-14 at the moment. Let's head on over to Hendersonville to hear the latest on that football game.
First down and 15 at the 35-yard line. Rob on the carry to the 45, past midfield, and drop at the 44-yard line.
Dante Strickland in the corner for Knoxville Catholic had an opportunity to tackle him. When you see how powerful Elijah Robb runs, he didn't really want any problems. He kind of olayed him. Like I said, heavy Elijah Robb. They're coming back to him.
First down and 10. Another Mr. Goodroof first down for the Knights. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this game. Unbalanced line for the Knights. Lex, handoff. Rob going off left guard to the 40, inside the 35. And this young man is a very physical back. And the Knights fans want a penalty, and they do not get it.
We just saw an after play, which should have been a penalty. Some aggression from the Knoxville Catholic side after the play, out of bounds on the on the Pope John Paul sideline. No call. That was egregious. This ref team, they need some work.
Second down and 1 at the 36-yard line. Score tied at 21. 8:30 left to go. Rob going right. Rob to the 25. And Rob is keeping this team in this football game. Another Mr. Goodroof first down for the Knights.
And Elijah Robb has been banged up all year. It's because he runs so hard. Every game he gets a little nick, but he's feeling it now. He's nodding his head.
A 16-yard run for Elijah Robb puts the football in the red zone at the 20-yard line. First down. Rob on the carry, breaks the first tackle, and a host of Irish are in the backfield to make the stop. And a few words by Antori Hamilton on the field. This is slowly but surely becoming a rivalry between these two Catholic schools who have only played each other 5 times.
And Knoxville Catholic is doing some dirty stuff after the play, and they're not getting called for it. Elijah Robb's hurt now.
Into the game now for the injured Elijah Robb, Solomon Brooks. Robb being attended to on the sidelines. First down and 14 at the 27-yard line. Score tied at 21. Lex, back to throw. Has a receiver pass caught. Colin Cook making the reception for the Knights.
and they're waving it off.
Pass ruled incomplete, and there are a lot of apoplectic fans here in the stands.
Well, the nearest ref called it a completion. The ref from the other side of the field said it was an incomplete pass, so they waved it off. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm upset.
Second down and 14 at the 27-yard line. Pass incomplete. Chet Lax.
Now, Chet Lax had a wide open Solomon Brooks right there. He missed him. He's going to have to go through his progressions a little bit better.
Lax, handoff. Brooks up the middle and to about the 25-24-yard line.
Trevor Duncan, Grayson Goodell.
Grayson Goodell and Trevor Duncan making the tackle, but coming back out onto the field. Elijah Robb moving those legs.
He's shaking his arm. His right arm, his carrying arm is giving him a little bit of issues, but they need him for the 4th and short down. He's been the only running back who's been able to get something going this year.
Knights going for it. Tied at 21. 4th down and 12. Play pause on the field due to a timeout called on the field by Knoxville Catholic. If you're head coach Corey Mobbs, why did you call that timeout?
You saw something you didn't like. I think he knew that Elijah Robb was getting the ball here, and he wants to put more of his team in the box. This 4th and short, this has Elijah Robb written all over it, and this Knoxville Catholic team, they're gonna send everybody up the middle on here. I'd like to see Coach John Paul do something different.
Well, Coach Corey Mobbs came from Lanier High School in Sugar Hill, Georgia, where he served as the head coach from 2014 to 2020. He won 2 region championships while directing that Longhorn team. He was previously the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach from 2010 to 2013. He has a bachelor's degree from Sanford University, a master's degree from Piedmont College, and an education specialist degree from Valdosta State.
He's very well educated, to say the least, because of all that education. I know he's going to pick the right play here. Hopefully, Pope John Paul will have something to counter it.
4th down for the Knights at the 24-yard line. 4th and 12 to be exact. 3 wide receiver set. Dual set to the right side of the field. Colin Cook, far left boundary wide receiver. Play action. Lax, back to throw. Has all day. Has a receiver. Incomplete. Intended for Josh Maylander.
Pass intended for Maylander.
Couldn't hit him.
I like the play call. We're seeing a lot of chippiness after this. The refs, now there's a flag being thrown.
A flag enters the field late. We'll see who the flag will be called against. For now, Pope Prep has turned the football over on 4th down.
I like the play call. He had some guys open. Chet Lax just wasn't able to get it to him. There were 2 receivers open in the area. There's a lot of chippiness going on right now, and I need the refs to get a hold of it. They have to start giving out some warnings, talking to some guys, and they're really looking at the Pope John Paul side. They haven't been looking at Knoxville Catholic.
Well, referees are waiting to see where the football will be placed.
Irish called for
the Irish called for a sideline infraction. So a 5-yard walk-off.
1st and 10.
1st and 10
from the 20
at the 20-yard line. And Jima, the ebbs and flows of this game. 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Score tied at 21 with 6:25 left to go. Pope Prep showing blitz. Will they come, or is it just a disguise? Jade Neal calling an audible at the line of scrimmage.
I think he's coming to the nearest receivers.
4 wide set, 2 to both sides of the field. Handoff up the middle and nowhere to go. Quincy Pinnell.
And now we're seeing a lot of flopping going on after the play. Both sides are looking for some help from the ref. They're looking for some unnecessary roughness.
No game, second down.
Patrick Collins and Ainsley Ware making the stop for the Knights. Second down and 10. Knox Catholic has had a lot of success here tonight, spreading out this Pope Prep defense. Neal, back to throw, has a receiver incomplete in the neighborhood. Sam O'Leary.
Too tall.
Yeah,
from Jaden Neal.
That could have been a tremendous hit right there. If the quarterback was a little bit off, but he had a guy. If he put a little bit of less air on it and more of a flat throw, that would have been a catch, and he would have been off to the races.
Cowbells and stomping feet in full effect here at the Jim Carroll Athletic Complex. Third down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Neal, back to throw, goes deep, has a receiver, incomplete. Intended for Denero Watts. 3 and out for Knox Catholic.
What a play call. He had a guy wide open, deep downfield, ran a straight post route. There was nobody. They were playing man coverage, no safety over the top. Just a bad throw. They should still be running right now. That should have been an 80-yard touchdown pass. But it's not as easy as it looks on TV. And high schoolers know that if this was an NFL, that would have been a touchdown. But in high school, you never know.
Brock Taylor set to punt the football away. Josh Maylander back deep to receive the punt at the 50-yard line. Month of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So on all levels of football, we're starting to see some variations of pink. Maylander receding to the 40, and he trots out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And the fans want a penalty, but they won't get it.
No, they won't get it. And I'm not sure I would have gave him a penalty for that late push. He was kind of stepping out of bounds, but only quarterbacks that get that kind of protection.
First down and 10 at the 41-yard line. Score tied at 21. 5:30 left to go here in the third quarter. It's been back and forth. Back and forth.
This is the first close game we've seen this year, Will.
Yeah, that it is. Lex, QB keeper, up the middle, and he is spun forward inside the 50-yard line to about the 47-48.
And I'm going to need Chet Lax to hold the ball with two hands. He's holding it really soft right there. And if the guy had swiped that instead of grabbing for it, that could have been a fumble. I like the play call. Keep being aggressive with the running for Chet Lax, former receiver.
Second down and 1. Two wide receiver set for Pope Prep. Colin Cook, Josh Maylander, the two receivers on the field. Patrick Collins, the F-back, the tight end, and a flag has entered the field.
Flag on the play. Prior to the snap, offsides
called against Knoxville Catholic. A free 5 given to the Knights. So that is a penalty aided. Mr. Goodaroo, first down for the Knights.
And some of these Knights fans are really exasperated. You can tell kind of a sigh of relief when they finally got a penalty to go their way.
I like your word choice.
Thank you.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line.
SAT word.
We'll go with it. Lax, back to throw, has to scramble, pump fakes, keeps the football to the 45-40 and escorts himself out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
And I want to see more of that from Tex Lax. I've been saying that the last 3 games. You're a receiver. We know you have some legs. You don't have to force the ball downfield. Run. Use your agility to escape the pocket.
Well, another final score to report around Sumner County High School football. Station Camp defeating Portland 21-14. So good job by the Fighting Brent Alexanders out there at Station Camp. You know where he went to school, right?
No.
Tennessee State University.
Uh-oh.
Second down and 6. Rob on the carry, pumping the legs, brought down by Dante Strickland.
Dante Strickland.
Won a Super Bowl, too.
And Trevor Duncan, team for the
With who?
tackle.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Third down. Knights need 4.
So 3rd down and 4 at the 38-yard line. You want to know something else about Brent Alexander?
Tell me.
He used to coach here.
You're full of knowledge, bro.
Some days. It's called Wikipedia. It works for me all the time. 3rd down and 4 at the 38-yard line. Score tied at 21. Jetlax drops the football. Elijah Robb has to fall on it, and that's what he does.
Elijah Robb.
Good thing Elijah Robb was there. They usually keep him in the backfield because he runs the ball so much. But a bad snap. That wasn't on Chet Lax. That was on the
punt formation. Joey Gritza.
Joey Gritza getting ready to punt the football away. Back deep to receive the punt. Jalen Harmon
for the Irish.
For Knoxville Catholic. 3 minutes and 15 seconds and counting left to go here in the 3rd quarter. A booming punt by Joey Gritza. And this punt will go out of bounds at the, waiting for the referee to stop, at the 17-yard line.
The 18-yard line.
And to be fair, if I was a Knoxville Catholic fan, I'd be really upset by that spot. I think he gave Hope John Paul about 10 yards.
So I stand corrected, literally. 1st down and 10 at the 18.
Literally.
And that was a little bit of Pope Prep and Knox Catholic as those two D2 3A teams battle in Hendersonville, Tennessee. It's tied at 21 right now. It looks like Kenny Minchie is not playing again for Pope Prep. And part of me is starting to wonder if this guy is just going to be out the rest of the season. They've only got 2 more games after tonight. Of course, they have the playoffs. But if there was any opportunity to come back, you would think that after a bye week, it would be the perfect opportunity to do so. But obviously, he's not playing tonight. So, I mean, I'm just going worst case scenario here. Is that am I going too far off the ledge there, Billy?
I don't think so. I mean, if he's not back, tonight. I mean, we thought he might come back last week.
Yep, last week. Yep.
So, I don't know. I think we're, like I said, I've talked about this before, where we in today's day and age we see high school players doing this more often. And, I wouldn't be surprised if, he's kind of committed to himself, at least mentally, saying, hey, I don't know if I want to head back out there. I mean, obviously, he probably wants to, but he's probably also being told by people, hey, you've got a college career ahead of you. I don't know how serious the injury is, at least right now. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting talking about it. I mean, we thought even like 2 weeks ago, I thought,
because I'm pretty sure the injury is to his non-throwing shoulder. And so, it's just a really strange situation. They've got Ravenwood next week. They close out on the road at McCallie. I just don't see, if he's not going to play this week, why would he play next week? Is they going to throw him back out there for McCallie? I don't know. So, doesn't look good for Pope Prep and getting Kenny Minchie back for the rest of the season, but they're in a good one right now. But we're going to go to a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to give you a scoreboard update, and then we're going to jump back into that Pope Prep Knox Catholic game to bring you the end of it. So don't stay anywhere. This is Friday Night Live presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East And for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. You know where you are right now? Get out now.
Back just after 9:20 here on this Friday, October 14th edition of Friday Night Live. We are powered by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. It's been a fun night of high school football across the mid-state here in Tennessee. We've heard from area reporters. We've heard from play-by-play announcers, whether the 104.5 The Zone weather courtesy of WHIN. It's been a good night, but as some scores start to roll in final, a lot of scores rolling in final, wanted to give you a scoreboard update. So, Billy, hit me with that music.
Here it is.
As we roll out this Week 9 scoreboard update. We're going all the way down, starting with Region 1. So this thing is going to be beefy. Morristown West, 50. Cherokee, 20. It's Chucky Doak, 55. Claiborne, nothing. Dobbins Bennett all over William Blount, 55-7. It's Elizabethton, 59. Volunteer High School, 6. Hampton, 58. Cumberland Gap, 8. It's Science Hill, 21. Jefferson County, 7. Cloudland, 38. Jellicoe, 12. South Green, 21. Johnson City, 15. It's Morristown East, big winners over West Ridge, 54-31. Daniel Boone, 21. Tennessee High School, 13. It's Unica, 64. Cosby, nothing. West Green, 24. And Unicoi County, 23. Moving down to Region 2 in Division 1, you've got Alcoa, 49. Union County, nothing. It's Farragut, 31. Bradley Central, 10. Bearden, 34. Cleveland, 24. Fulton, 42. Scott, 14. Gatlinburg, Pittman, 50. Northview Academy, 13. Gibbs High School, 24. York Institute, 7. Greenback, 32. Harriman, 7. Heritage, 6-0 over Sevier County at halftime. It's Maryville, 42. Hardin Valley, 6. Midway, 33. Sunbright, 18. Monterey, 42. Oneida, 9. Rockwood, 62. Wartburg, 26. And West High School, 64. Cott County, nothing. All those games minus Greenback, Harriman, and Heritage, Sevier County, those are final in Region 1, Region 2. Moving down to Region 3, where you're in the fourth quarter in a lot of games, it's Coffee County, 26. Cookeville, 7. Friendship Christian, final 31-14 over East Hamilton. It's Lenore City getting the win over Hickson, 34-0. Whitwell leads Lookout Valley 22-12 late in the fourth quarter. Polk County 21, Marion County 13 final. Warren County over Shelbyville 31-14 with 3:35 left to go in the fourth. It's Bledsoe County 52, Tellico Plain 7. Tyner Academy beats Meigs County 26-0. Moving down to Region 4, it's Blackman 56, Rockville 28. Cannon County 28, Community 16. Clay County 54 winners over Grundy County final. It's Ray County 45, Howard 7. McMinn County 24, Walker Valley 7. At halftime, you've got Ooltewah beating Saudi Daisy 21-6. In the fourth quarter, it's Riverdale trailing Oakland 42-6. Stewarts County leads Siegel with 12 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, 14-13. It's Upperman 17, DeKalb County 16. East Robertson is going to take the region championship over Westmoreland 29-7. Moving into Region 5, it's Loretto 23, Cascade 13. Moore County final 42, Collinwood nothing. Wayne County over Cornersville 28-12 in the fourth quarter. It's Fayetteville all over Red Bank. It's final 38-2. You've got Richland and Forest battling in the fourth quarter. Forest leads 35-34. In a final, Beach 42, Gallatin 7. Pearl-Cone 19, Greenbrier 6. Baylor 56, Hendersonville 14. Eagleville 21, Huntland 13. Smith County 41, Jackson County nothing. Mount Pleasant 34, Summertown 7. Lawrence County winners over Tullahoma 14-10.
You want me to take it from here, Zach?
You want to take Region 6? Go ahead, Billy.
I'll take it from here. Give you a little water break there. Lexington, as we roll into Region 6, defeats Chester County 17-14. At the half, Decatur County Riverside leads Adamsville 35-7. Late in this one, good game between McEwen and Gleason. Gleason up by 2, 38-36. Hardin County, how about this one? 70-6 over Liberty. Wow. Liberty 0-8. Jackson Southside defeats McNairy Central 41-7. Lincoln County leads Columbia 18-0 in the third quarter. Hollow Rock Brewston leads Perry County 50-30 in the fourth quarter of that one. Lewis County defeats Scotts Hill 33-0. Smyrna all over Dixon County tonight, 39-14 late in that one. Franklin County defeats Spring Hill, shuts them out 49-0. White House leads Stewart County 35-7 in the third quarter of that one. Rolling into Region 7, Ripley defeats Bolton 31-0. West Carroll over Greenfield 44-0. Lake County leads Halls over in West Tennessee 24-14. South Gibson loses to Haywood 49-17. Peabody over Humboldt 40-6. Crockett County over Jackson Northside 31-0. In overtime right now, Dyersburg and Millington tied at 14. Milan defeats Obion County 28-6. Station Camp over Portland 21-14. Union City 55, Camden 14. Covington, as we move into Region 8, defeats Dyer County tonight 45-18. Melrose over Hamilton 44-0. Kip in Memphis 44. MLK Prep in Memphis 6. Rolling into Division 2, the East Middle Region. Couple games tonight. McCallie defeats Father Ryan 28-14. Knoxville Catholic over Pope Prep just barely. Actually, that's late in the game right now, 28-21. We might just go right back to that one here in a few seconds. Division 2 in the East Region, Chattanooga Christian all over Grace Christian in Knoxville, 62-14. Boyd Buchanan shuts out Notre Dame tonight, 42-0. In the Division 2 Middle Region, Davidson Academy defeats Goodpasture, 34-7. And in the West Region tonight, Jackson Christian all over FACS, 49-3. Lausanne all over St. George's, 49-14. And last but not least, St. Benedict, 59, Bluff City, 22. And that is your probably final scoreboard update, as most of those games are final. And that has been your scoreboard update brought to you by the great folks at Donley Timmons Custom Builders. Visit them on the web at donleytimmons.com, your one-stop shop for your custom home building needs. They are the best in the mid-state area. So go check them out online. That's donleytimmons.com. And that has been your final scoreboard update.
We just bodied that, Billy.
We destroyed that. That was like 5 minutes of scores.
That was. I mean, it was in depth. It was details. We went all the way from Region 1 all the way.
And we're not just saying the scores. We're actually providing you some details. So
exactly.
Hey, got a little pat on the back here.
So you mentioned the Knox Catholic Pope Prep game. Knox Catholic leading 28-21. It says there's 9:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. I don't know if there's that much time. But
we can find out.
We can find out. I want to get over there. I want to see how this one closes out. So this broadcast courtesy of WHIN over at Pope Prep High School as they battle Knox Catholic.
Tonight, not lose 5 yards.
And it's better to use them than to lose them. With 3 left, go ahead and use one. 9 minutes left to go in this game. They've lost so many yards on penalties and just poor execution on first and second down, bringing them to a 3rd and long. So get it right the first time, because you're down 7. And this is the first time they've been down this game.
28-21 the score here. 8 minutes and 57 seconds left to go here in tonight's game. Try to get you some scores around TSSAA high school football. Well, one score to report, McCallie holding off Father Ryan 28-14. So that drops Father Ryan to 0-4 in the district. McCallie improves to 2-2. So that now only makes 2 1-2 teams in Division II AAA Middle East Division. Those 2 teams are on the field against each other right now. Lax going down the field. Has Elijah Robb? Did he make the reception? Yes! A beautiful job by Elijah Robb. He had to spin around and catch the ball over his shoulder to make that reception. An A for effort by Elijah Robb.
Also an A for execution. He turned at the last minute, and I thought he had lost it in the lights, and he reached at the last second. Amazing catch by Elijah Robb.
A 19-yard pass completion from Chet Lax to Elijah Robb. Another Mr. Goodrue first down for the Knights. Unbalanced line right. Maylander in motion from right to left. Knights move left to right. Handoff. Robb up the middle, turning the legs, dragging defenders with them. And I'm telling you, Kylan Smith felt every piece of that run.
And Kylan Smith is 6'2", 270 pounds. When he jumped on Elijah Robb, who might be my height, is 5'8". I said, Elijah Robb kept those legs moving.
Hardest 2-yard run I've seen. 2nd down and 8 at the 14-yard line. 2 wide receivers set for the Knights. Patrick Collins, the F-back, in motion from left to right. Knights move left to right. Maylander now going in motion from right to left. Broken play. Chet Lex has to do something with the football, and he's dropped.
Yeah, a mistake, miscommunication, broken a play. Chet Lex was able to stiff arm a guy, but unfortunately he had to stiff arm him from behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, we're in a long and 3rd down and long again, and the Knights have been in this all game. At least they have practice.
Nashville Christian 31, Columbia Academy 14. Stewart's Creek escapes with a win, 14-13 over Siegel. 3rd down and 8 at the 14-yard line. 5 receivers set. Good protection by the Knights offensive line. Lex has to throw the football. Reception made, and the Knights keep on moving.
Did you see that catch, Will? He had to reach behind him and catch it while the defender was trailing him. Could have been an interception. Amazing one-handed, left-handed catch. Good pass by Chet Lex on that while he was being pressured by the all-star defensive end Trevor Duncan,
who will be playing football on a Rocky Top next year. Colin Cook has made 3 receptions here tonight. They've all been some pretty tough ones.
Big receptions, a touchdown, and also 3rd down completions.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line. 2 wide receivers set. Handoff. Robb had some momentum going up the middle, but tripped up.
Elijah Robb's going to have to be careful to not get an illegal procedure. Anytime he's getting the ball, he's moving a little too early.
Connor Ruth making a stop for Knoxville Catholic. 2nd down and goal at the 4-yard line. Dual receiver set to the right side of the field. Unbalanced line right for Pope Prep. Elijah Robb moves in motion. Lex, shovel pass into the end zone. Touchdown Knights. Ainsley Ware dragging defenders.
They really like this shovel pass. I believe that's the 4th time they've done it, and it's only not worked once. This time it's for a touchdown. Like I said, it's a very you got to be very careful, especially the defensive line that Knoxville Christian has doing shovel passes, but it's worked for them so far.
Kevin Boyce, a long snapper. Chet Lex will hold the football for the kicker, Will Arbuckle.
This is a big extra point right here for a young kicker.
28-27. Make it 28. 6:03 left to go here in this evening's game, and the score is tied at 28. G-Man, safe to say we're in the 12th round of a heavyweight fight.
We are in the 12th round, and these guys are playing with so much passion. It's such a great atmosphere right here. I love how when you come to the Hendersonville at Pope John Paul, the other team parks their bus right outside of the stadium. So when you look from where we're looking from in this press box, you can see all these beautiful fans. You can see the other team's bus, and it's almost like you're going to war. And this is our first close game this year, and we're pumped up here. We're having a good time, Will.
Oh, we get a lot of good remarks from the fans here. And I think, Jim, I didn't tell you this. After our BGA game, I had a lot of fans come up to us just telling us how well they feel like we did and felt like we meshed with each other. Two guys, we really love what we do, albeit, it is what it is. We enjoy it. And one thing that these two teams are enjoying is this back and forth matchup with each other.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't tell me because my head gets big, Will.
Oh, well, I'm glad I did. Coming up the field, Knoxville Catholic. Far left side of the field. Now taking it to the middle. That's Braylon Harmon. Now Harmon going to the far right side of the field. Stops on a dime. Taking it back. And he is dropped by a host of Knights. You got to give Braylon Harmon an A for effort. He did everything he could on that kickoff return.
He did, and the reason he had to cut back to the right side of the field is Joey Gritza came in and laid one of his blockers out right in front of him. I love to see that on a kickoff team when you go down full speed and look for some contact. That caused him to cut to the other side. Unfortunately, for his Pope John Paul team, he was able to find some holes.
If you're Knoxville Catholic and Coach Corey Mobbs, how long
Do you hold on to the football?
You try to hold on to the ball for 5 minutes and 48 seconds.
On the carry, off right guard, Quincy Pennell.
Now the Knights need a turnover. They need a big play from one of the guys, especially one of the leaders. You got Derrick Perry out there. You got Angie Ware. You got Chris Boyd, who led the team in tackles last year. You have Jamar Jones in the middle, who we know is a problem. And then you got some young corners. You have, not to mention Josh Maylander with 5 interceptions at safety. One of those guys is about to make a play right here.
Second down, football at the 48-yard line. Score tied at 28. 5:13 and ticking away left to go here in the game. And a flag has hit the field because Quincy Pennell just moved before the snap. Illegal procedure, undisciplined penalties at unneeded times in the ball game.
And Knoxville Catholic hasn't had to deal with that much. This is a poor time to have a false start, but especially a running back. You can't have that from behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 8 at the 42-yard line. Two teams sitting at 1-2 in Division II AAA Middle East Division. Neal back to throw, has a receiver, pass incomplete, intended for Quincy Pennell. Just about everybody in Hendersonville came for Jared Neal.
There was a blatant hold on Denarius Perry that I'm sure everyone in the crowd saw. The only person who did not see it was a referee right in front of him.
Third down and 8. The fans here at the Jim Carroll Athletic Complex stomping the feet, ringing the cowbells, as you can hear.
The booth is shaking right now.
The booth is literally shaking on third down and 8. 4 wide receiver set. Neal has the receiver. Pass intercepted. Coming up the field to the 40, the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Knights. Touchdown, Pope Press. Wow.
I said before the drive started, he had 5 interceptions. They need a play for one of their big players. Josh Maylander is one of their big players, and he come up with a pick 6 at the most important time.
This Knights team excited on the field. So excited, almost forgetting to run out onto the field. Will Johnson for the extra point. The Knights have retaken the lead, 34-28, extra point pending.
I'm not sure if Josh Maylander's excited or he's just so cool.
California cool. Will Arbuckle converting the extra point. New score on the board. Knights of Pope John Paul Preparatory School 35, Knoxville Catholic 28.
Josh Maylander transfer from California. He's California cool. After a pick 6 that could be the game-winning play, he calmly walked to the sideline. He's so cool.
He's got that California swag that you love. If you're Knoxville Catholic, you just threw an interception. Returned for a touchdown by Josh Maylander. A potential game-shifting play on the defensive side of the ball by the Knights.
What you do is you come and tell your Knoxville Catholic guys, if you're their coach, your Coach Corey, you say, look here, they threw a pick 6 that changed all the momentum for us. Now we threw a pick 6, and all we got to do is stay strong. They battle through, we can battle through. Coach Mobbs is telling them that.
Last year's game went down to the final play. Andrew Southern kicked a field goal to give the Knights the win, 36-33. It's pretty safe to say that this year's ball game has the potential to have the same ending.
It definitely does. It's going to be close no matter what. Unless we see another pick 6 here, you can imagine this game going down to the last drive. 4.5 minutes. Josh Maylander back on the field. Denarius Perry, Angie Ware, Chris Boyd, Jamar Jones. Who's next to make a big play?
4 wide receiver set. Knoxville Catholic moving right to left. They're all white uniforms with very vibrant gold helmets. Pope Prep sporting the all gray alternate uniforms. Pope Prep showing blitz. and they come. Niels, pass complete to the far left side of the field, breaking a tackle up the field. Sam O'Leary.
Number 6, Sam O'Leary.
Once again, they're playing really deep off the corners. They're almost begging them to throw the ball. If you're going to do that, we need to see some corners jump the routes.
35-28 the score. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left to go here in the game. And Knoxville Catholic has had a lot of success throwing the football to the sidelines. First down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Irish on the move. Neal in the gun. Back to throw. Has all day to throw. Has a wide open wide receiver over the middle of the field. Denario Watts.
And this zone, they're really picking this zone apart. The defenders are stopping in their zone instead of continuing with the route of the receiver. You have to continue the route of the receiver until you make it to your next defender in his zone. They're stopping short, which is allowing the receivers to be wide open in the middle of the field.
Second down and 10 at the 44-yard line. 3 wide receivers set to the left, 2 to the right, 5 in total. Niels, pass, complete. Joey Gritzer right there to make the tackle, making the reception. Jalen Harmon.
And Joey Gritz has had quietly a really good game. He's made some plays that aren't going to show up in the statistics category of your stats. But from watching, if you pay attention, he's made some plays that has caused this Knoxville Catholic team to have to worry about him. Now he's about 20 yards. He's about 10 yards, 15 yards off coverage. It's third and short. They need to suit up.
Third down and 7 at the 41-yard line. Neal scrambling right. All day to throw. Has a receiver. Pass. Picked off. Coming out the field to the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Knights. Touchdown Pope Prep. 14-point swing. Just like that. Ainsley Ware putting another defensive touchdown on the board for the Knights.
Your big names. Who did I say? Ainsley Ware, Chris Boyd, Denarius Perry, Josh Maylander, Solomon Brooks. This time it was Ainsley Ware's time, and he looked like Tyreek Hill going down the field. He was not going to be caught. Knoxville Catholic didn't even attempt to catch him.
I asked Coach Snead, how is your team doing? His quote was, team is doing well. This game is huge for playoff seeding. It's a tall task, but it's doable. Will Arbuckle putting the 42nd point on the board. Home Prep with a 2-touchdown lead with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in this game.
One question, Will, is as exciting as this is this going to ruin our first close game?
It's still within 14 points. So it's technically still considered a close game.
Who? Technically who?
To us.
Oh, no. Knoxville Catholic needs to score. They're out here stretching us out. Some guys are cramping up. But Knoxville Catholic needs to go down the field, be aggressive like they were before, but execute a little bit better and bring this to a one-possession game. If they can't score on this drive, you know what that means. This game is over. It's coming down to right here. This is exciting.
Out of all my years of calling sports, this has to be the first time I've ever heard this song at a football game.
How did I know you were going to say something about the song choice? Who's the DJ?
I believe it's Eddie Vaughn, the PA announcer.
I was going to say DJ Paul.
Okay.
Get it?
Stop.
Paul.
Stop. That was so lame. God, that was lame. Lord help. Score 42-28 with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the game. An injured Knoxville Catholic Irish down on the field. It's been a physical ball game here tonight.
It has been. We've seen a few of the Pope John Paul players limp off, carried off, stretched off. Not as many for Knoxville Catholic, probably because they don't, I don't know why it is. I don't honestly. At this point, once your team starts unraveling as far as injuries, it's like a snowball going downhill. But it does not matter. They're up 42-28. And when Nate Webb was hurt, they were up 21-14. They lost that lead. They've shown they can.
And courtesy of WHIN, you hear Pope Prep take the lead late against Knox Catholic thanks to back-to-back interceptions, or excuse me, thanks to a pick six tie it, and then thanks to it was back-to-back interception. It was back-to-back pick six, right, Billy? I think that's what I heard, right?
Yep.
So I mean, what an ending to that game. Pope Prep really needs that win in league play. To get it without Kenny Minchie would obviously be really big. But I tell you what, we have about 10 minutes left with you tonight on Friday Night Live. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break just to get it in. But when we come back, like I said, it's going to be a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to highlight some final scores from tonight and then look ahead to next week as well. So this is Friday Night Live presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
And we are back Friday Night Live on this Friday, October 14th. When we left you last, we took you away from Pope John Paul Knox Catholic because we thought the Knights had it wrapped up. But then Knox Catholic said, not so fast. They hit a 48-yard touchdown. They're kicking the onside kick right now. So that one's coming right down to the wire. We're not going to jump to it just because we don't have the time to do it. I want to quickly run down our staff picks tonight, just for me, just to see how we did. And then we'll look ahead to some big games next week before we let you go. So this week, starting off with our Main Street Preps game of the week, East Robertson at Westmoreland. It was the Indians coming out on top on that one, 29-7. I picked Westmoreland to win 12-10. It was pretty much split across the board for our staff. There was 5 people to pick Westmoreland and 5 people to pick East Robertson. So split right down the middle. Congratulations to East Robertson on that win. We pretty much all got Blackman Rockville correct. Good Pasture Davidson Academy was split as well. I believe it was Davidson Academy that won that football game over Good Pasture. Beach Gallatin, everybody pretty much had Beach in that one. Pearl Cone Greenbrier, everybody pretty much had Pearl Cone. Columbia Academy, Nashville Christian, same thing. Portland Station Camp was split as well, 5-5 apiece. Congratulations to Station Camp for the win. Oakland Riverdale was pretty much a sweep. Stewart's Creek Siegel was a flip as well, but got that one right. And then Lawrence County Tullahoma, I believe Lawrence County won that game. So congratulations to them. And then looking at next week, there is a big slate. You've got Brentwood Beach as your Friday Night Rivals game of the week next week. You've got, Lipscomb Academy CPA in the Division II middle region. You've got Pope Prep Ravenwood in non-conference play. You've got Baylor MBA for MBA's homecoming. That should be a really good game. Macaulay versus West Toronto Prep out of Canada. How they got that game, why they got that game is beyond me.
Well, they had a few guys from Canada last year on their team. Macaulay did, so I don't know if there's a connection there.
That might.
But if any team were to play a team from Canada, it would be Macaulay.
It would be Macaulay, and so excuse me. Westmoreland White House Battle of Sumner County is going to be a big one. Fairview Sycamore. So there are just a ton of games going on next week. Make sure you're staying tuned to MainStreetPreps.com. We'll highlight our 10 best games. We'll give you staff picks. Of course, check out MainStreetPreps.com tonight and tomorrow as we bring you all the latest from every single Friday night football game that was in coverage area tonight. There was a lot of good ones, including that Pope Prep Knox Catholic game, which I am actually going to try to find an updated score for that just because, like I said, Knox Catholic was kicking that onside kick. And just wondering how that one played out because, one minute you think Pope Prep's going to get the easy victory, and the next minute, Irish are onside kicking for a chance to tie this game. So we don't have an update on it, but Pope Prep leading that one late, as we know. So with that, Billy.
Crazy game there.
Crazy game.
My goodness.
Been a pretty good show tonight, I feel like. We've been able
solid
to
show.
Give good scoreboard updates. We've been able to listen to our area reporters, listen into live games as well. And so it's been a fun night. I cannot believe, and I've said this a million times, but it's already week 9 of the high school football season, Billy. It's,
week 10 almost.
Yeah, week 10 pretty much, here in 3 minutes. We'll turn our eyes to week 10. Obviously, the regular season goes to week 11 before the playoffs start. But, man, when we said this at the beginning of the season, we said, the day is going to come and we're going to say, wow, it's already week 5. Wow, it's already week 7. Wow, it's already week 10. And that's exactly where we find ourselves tonight. So, another good show. Appreciate all the fans tuning in, watching tonight. Want to shout out to Donnelly Timmons for sponsoring our scoreboard update. Thank you to the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for sponsoring our show. And with that, Billy, I guess, is there anything else you want to say?
Roll Tide? No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, you don't like
do
those
that.
boys.
I wouldn't do that,
Well,
but I can't wait to watch that. Though.
You're a Vandy guy, so
I honestly would not be, because if it was Tennessee Georgia, I might be really going Georgia. But since it's Tennessee Alabama, it's a West opponent.
Yeah.
No one likes Alabama.
Nobody likes Alabama.
Who wouldn't want to see Alabama lose? But
there's
I can't wait for that, man.
There's a graph out there that compares Alabama to the the USSR. There's a lot of similarities between Alabama and the USSR. So nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see them win. But looks like Pope Prep recovered the football, recovered the onside kick. 29 seconds left. Their ball. They lead 42-35 in a wild football game. Thanks again to WHIN for giving us that breakdown. But as far as Week 9 action, that's going to do it for Friday Night Final. I am Zach Womble. He's Billy Derrick. George Plaster, he's gone. But you can check out his show starting Monday from 4 to 6 right here on Main Street Media TV. We'll see you next week.
You have been listening to Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Friday Night Live is a Main Street Media production and owned by Dave and Ellen Gould. Produced by Billy Derrick.